Yo, it's fucking Thursday night, and you know what that means? It's wrestling with knuckleheads. Gigi's on time, motherfucker. Gigi is on time.
Oh,
Yes, it's
I feel special now.
word. It's
Time.
never on
Which is
time.
real. I'm on time today. Everybody
That's right.
knows.
Thank you.
That's right. Shit, and our special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who bought us Battle Club Pro and the Fallout, who ran the first show I ever went to, Jobber Slam, not Slobber Jam, Gigi. We all know that I get them fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You know, I get them fucked up. I did it for you, Gigi. I said it right for you. I don't want to embarrass you now. You know?
That's how we are.
For real. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Hype.
Good.
I got a sugar rush. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We doing this tonight.
I'm ready.
Gigi, how was your day? Oh yeah, she got the J-Mo. It's always
great with J-Mo. You can't go wrong.
she kind of needs it to deal with me for 4 hours. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it too.
Word. You know.
Today we don't have the the outside cup. Not today.
The word.
We got to stay home mug today. That's it. We're good.
Keeping it light. Word.
So
yo, I mean, listen, not after this intro, you might have to get that travel size mug, you know? Shit. But yo, first question I have to ask you, about 452 million people on my Twitter, not my Twitter, because I don't have that many followers, but on our Twitter voted. The first question has to be Hulk Hogan or John Cena?
This motherfucker.
Yeah, you know, Gigi, I'm doing it. I'm going straight
John
for the
Cena.
jugular. All right, and that's the conclusion of our show.
Wait, hold on.
It was good to have you.
Wait. Where you grew up? Where you grew up from?
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
So you know what a real G is, right? Right?
Please don't tell me G.
Hold on, because I'm probably gonna explain it differently than anybody else has.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
You come home from school, the OG, whatever he was pushing, made sure you got to where you was going okay, because he understood you was coming home from school, right?
Yeah.
You had that, right? That was a little bit of sense of hope in whatever the dreary situation is growing up in the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
For 30 years, Hulk Hogan pretended to be a good guy and was a shithead. John Cena has been a good guy and has done more Make-A-Wishes than anybody else in the fucking world. That's point one. Point two, Hulk Hogan has been in the ring with people with like Shawn Michaels, AJ Styles, Sting, and hasn't had bangers. John Cena has. Now hold on. Was it John? He can laugh, he can get on camera. Show your face. Now wait. I'm not saying John Cena was the reason those were bangers, but they were, right? And last but not least, at least John Cena has grown into somebody that's reputable outside the business, where Hulk Hogan has spent the last 10 years trying to fix this persona that he has faked for 30 years. So, to quote Seaton and Yardley and Wilkins, fuck Hulk Hogan.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, listen. I see that you take yoga on the side because you stretching out here.
I'm stretching?
I'm fucking with you. Listen, you bring in their personal lives, all right? That wasn't the question.
Okay, business, Cena has done more in his time with the E in terms of making them money. Let's not account for inflation, because that's a whole different argument we can have.
Well,
but in his time frame, he has made more than Hogan. That's one. Two, Cena has been the engine that's driven those last $3 billion deals, even though he's a part-timer, because he catapulted guys like Roman and AJ and Seth to a position where they could make 3 different billion-dollar ideas. Hogan responsible for WrestleMania, absolutely, but Hogan wouldn't put anybody fucking over ever.
No.
He put Taker over and 6 days later won the title from him. Come on, he was in his 50 and he took The undisputed title. Come on, bro. Cena made people. Cena made people. And I would watch a Cena match 10,000 times before I'd watch a Hogan match
Are you
because
forgetting about
I
the
love it too.
Nexus?
This
Are
is
you
great.
forgetting? Are you forgetting about?
okay, you say he buried the Nexus?
Yeah.
Who's one of the biggest stars in AEW right now? Daniel Bryan.
Oh,
Where did he start?
first of all, they've been sucking on Daniel Bryan's dick since he was born. I don't want to hear that shit.
That's all fine and dandy, but I'm guessing your argument for Cena. Your argument for Cena is that he's not the best wrestler in the world, right?
No, it's not. Well, first of all, it's not even that. But
what's the beef with John Cena besides the pussy promo from the intro?
So you listen to the intro. You listen to the intro. That's all I need to hear. No, but listen, bro. First off, he went from being the prototype to being a thug, like you just said, the real OG.
Okay.
How many real OGs we had in the WWE? How many people from the hood or portrayed from the hood that we had that was serious in the WWE? Not one. Bad News Brown?
That's not true. No. Devon Dudley, Taz.
No. I'm talking about actual gangsters. Like Taz was a tough guy, and they used him for like 3
Taz
months.
Went to Lane when Lane was a jail.
Yeah, but he was ECW. I'm talking about WWE because in WWE he was hardcore. He was hardcore title. I'm talking about serious.
You're talking about like start
main event play. Yeah.
Cena's time in was it USA Pro or the promotion worked USPW, whatever it was in
Ohio Valley?
No, because that was their feeder system. So you would count that as lineage. Right. His time in the Indies was fractional compared to Hogan's time in places like AWA and Japan.
Wait, say that one more time, because
so Hogan's time on in the territories with places like AWA and the Crockett's or whatever the case may be, the original FCW. His time in those places, those territory places, was longer than Cena's time on the West Coast. Was way longer than Cena's time on the West Coast. So Cena's not only got more lineage and longevity with the WWE in terms of consecutive years, but he's also had most of it. I would say maybe 90 to 95% of his career is WWE. Where Hogan's is more like 75%.
No, I'm not talking about lineage. Well, all right, so I'm gonna ask the question in a better way. I'm talking about people that weren't R-Truth in Crime Time. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't get too many characters that were portrayed from the hood that weren't jokes.
Okay. All right.
And he was built as, okay, here goes the guy that's gonna be the United States champion, and he won the world title. He's wearing the jerseys, he's looking like us, he's rapping, all that other shit. And the first chance he gets, he turns into a fucking Marine. He can't even salute right. Come on, no, you're not for nothing. So, I was a thug. I was a student of the thugonomics back in those days. I'm not gonna lie to none of y'all motherfuckers. I like John Cena thugonomics. And then 1 week he just came up with his khaki shorts and his Kmart sneakers and his snapback wasn't even a fitted no more. You don't bend the brim. You know this.
He dared to do something that wasn't being done and was different. Whereas Hogan, when he got stale, what did he do? Oh, let me hop on these other dudes. Bro, Hogan wearing a bandana, Hogan wearing a do-rag. That wasn't Hogan. That was Nash and Scott Hall's hip-hop influence and him like, oh, let me steal this shit for the rub. Come on. Nobody's faking Hulk Hogan, bro.
There's only two people that would have made that NWO turn as big as they did. It was Hogan and Sting.
Correct. And
you know that. It should have been, but Hogan was smart enough to do it.
All right. But so how you going to judge Cena for doing a business move trying to relate to a demographic that isn't represented when Hogan was faking the funk in the same situation to steal the rub from guys that were over at the time?
So John Cena was a real thug? He wasn't faking the funk?
I'm not saying that.
He wasn't faking the funk as a Marine?
No, I'm saying he catered to a demographic that wasn't being represented. Now, was he our guy? Of course not. He's, like you said, he's not actually from the hood. But that's no less faker than what Hogan did with the painted beard and trying to be all Hollywood and hip hop, stealing what Nash and Hall actually did. They really about that hip hop culture. He's more of a vulture than Cena is. If your beef is that Cena stole from
No.
people like us
My
growing up.
beef is that he changed off the drop
But
of a
you
hat.
got it.
He
You have
dropped
to
us.
evolve.
You
He
have
didn't
to change
evolve.
this to
You have
He
to
didn't
evolve.
evolve.
You have
My
to
man,
He
my
hasn't
man
evolved.
did it.
the same fucking stuff. What are you talking about, bro?
Listen, no,
He
there's no
hasn't. He
fucking
hasn't evolved.
evolving.
He hasn't
Red,
evolved.
yellow, or black and white. That's
Listen,
all
no,
Hogan
no,
ever had.
no,
He
no.
hasn't
Okay, and
evolved since.
Hulk
He
Hogan.
hasn't evolved since the Marine turn. I'll give
Hulk,
you that. But Hogan was red
but
and yellow for 12 years, then black and white for 6, then went back to red and yellow for another 12 years.
but hold on. Here's the thing, though. Y'all forgetting this. Hulk Hogan progressively was getting booed and had to turn heel. He had to do something to freshen up his career.
Okay.
John Cena was at the precipice of his career and just decided, fuck this, I'm going somewhere else. The Rock did the same thing Hogan did. Jericho did the same shit Hogan did plenty of times. DX did the same shit back and forth. No one's did the shit that John Cena did, where just 1 week he went from being a thug to now all of a sudden I went through boot camp and I did 2 tours in Iraq. Come on, bro.
It was a little longer than 1 week.
As soon
It
as
was a little longer than 1
as
week.
soon as the Marines hit the print, he turned.
Okay, but it was a little longer than 1 week, and that's first, second. And how many interviews has the question come up when you're gonna have a heel turn? And he's like, I can't. That's not who I am. That's first of all. Second of all, if a heel's job is to get booed and I'm getting booed anyway, what's the point?
Can I tell you why I booed him? That's the start of why I don't like him. I'm gonna tell you why I booed him and I thought he sucked. And and Gigi's gonna interrupt me, but I'm gonna be real with y'all because y'all know I don't fuck around. I got the facts right up here. 1-800-FACTS. You call them up. They tell you what I'm telling you. They got my back, Gigi.
Okay.
Listen, the same reason why I don't like, the same reason why I started to not like John Cena, and I really didn't like him in the ring. And I'll give him all those Make-A-Wish and all that other shit. Outside the ring, awesome dude. I'll give him that. This motherfucker, one, just like John Moxley, just like fucking Bryan Danielson, doesn't sell shit. 2, I joke, he takes a shot of Cena at the end of every match to jump, like he takes a shot of adrenaline, jumps up and starts F5ing everybody. He F5 2 brand new baby fucking boys and beats The Miz after him and Alex Riley beat him for an hour. They literally landed a 747 on this man in the last man standing match. He just pops up out of nowhere. No hulking up. There's no imagination. There's no selling there. And that was match after match. When you said banger after banger, all I saw was Shawn Michaels did his very best and did nothing with him at WrestleMania. Triple H did nothing with him at WrestleMania, but that's not Triple H didn't do a lot with anybody. But
so you hate that he didn't sell, right?
The best match he ever had.
He didn't sell, right? But now, can we've heard the stories of how tough Andre really was, how tough Bad News really was, how tough Haku really was. They would beat on Hogan for 20 minutes, and then you'd get this, and the match is over. The match is over. How you gonna be hating on Cena when Hogan would get murdered, and then all of a sudden he shake the 7 strands of hair on his head, sweating, and the match was done?
But you telling me that wasn't believable? That he hit the second win?
No.
Oh, wait.
My man, you telling me when mommy put the chocolate on your backside, you after 15 minutes of getting the ass whooping and cocotazo from fucking all the way in the Caribbean, you woke up and the beating stopped.
You ain't never been hit so hard that you did the little. Oh no more.
But now you're arguing against yourself because you're saying
I'm not.
Yes, because that's what Cena does.
First off, when Hogan did it, it was believable. It was like a last ditch effort, and he always won off the last ditch effort. You know when he didn't win? When he put the Ultimate Warrior over, the one guy that everybody says that can't wrestle. Remember, Macho Man was running shop when Hogan was around. So was the Ultimate Warrior.
But he didn't put them over.
CM Punk literally had to grab the mic and call Vince McMahon a bitch to get anywhere in the WWE when Cena was around.
Do you like Stone Cold?
I respect Stone Cold.
But
he's not my favorite wrestler. But
his work, right?
Yeah,
that's what he did to get over. It was called Vince McMahon a bitch.
He got himself over with the King of the Ring in that fucking promo he did.
He went from mid-card to top guy, right? But calling Vince McMahon took him from the top guy level to the man.
That was storyline.
Okay.
That was storyline. CM Punk wasn't storyline. He said, "Fuck it, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna say what I want."
It was storyline. It was, listen, Kevin Nash said it. If it's on camera, it's a work. It doesn't matter how believable it is.
I get it. And I get it. And listen, Matt's right here and he'll back me up. No matter what he says, he knows I'm right. Right? Even Hassan knows I'm right. Pro knows I'm right. Leon the King over here knows I'm right. Gigi keeps saying no because I'm right.
It's funny because their beef with Cena is my beef with Hogan. But at least there were more guys who have been substantial to the business post Cena than there is from Hogan.
No, see,
yes,
no. Listen,
yes, bro.
In the world title, in the world title picture. Hold on, time out. CM Punk made the Shield.
These guys,
it wasn't Cena. Cena buried the suffering succotash Roman Reigns.
But nobody buried talent more than Hogan. Hogan would take their finish, Hulk up, and then beat them.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Yes, in the Cena era, when you was Intercontinental Champion, what did that mean?
You're the Intercontinental Champion in Cena's era?
Yeah. What did it mean?
Kind of a throwaway belt in Cena's era.
In Hogan's era, it meant you were the best wrestler in the business.
It meant you were the best wrestler.
And who was putting people over?
They weren't putting a focal point on the C title at that time.
Because they were putting a focal point on Cena.
After a while, because it became a fucking joke to actually have it.
Because they put the focal point on Cena.
No,
when Hogan was running it,
I get what you're saying.
When Hogan was the man, everybody was being
right. Hogan was the guy, right?
Everybody was being looked at. We had Macho Man and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat best match of WrestleMania until Shawn Michaels and Undertaker WrestleMania 3, right?
Okay.
And then Cena happens. We don't say those matches anymore. We don't see that those other storylines, those other character building moments.
What does Hogan have to do with that though? You can't give Hogan credit for Macho Man being the best worker in the 80s.
I'm not saying I'm giving him credit. What I'm saying is he didn't overshadow them. He didn't make them any less relevant. They were just as big as him. He was the champion, though. Cena
they were just as big as him?
You're telling me the Macho Man and
the Ultimate Warrior wasn't as big? Are we talking as fans who are appreciating what...
I'm not talking about making money.
Wait, bro.
That's why we can't have people on there. It's because of you.
We're talking about fans who are appreciating what's going on in the ring, or we're talking about money?
We're talking about fans that appreciate what's going on in the ring.
If it's money, then absolutely Hogan overshadowed everybody and their mother. If we're talking about what's going on in the ring, yes, maybe Cena might have overshadowed them by being the top guy, but the argument now is that outside of Steamboat and Macho, how many guys can you confidently say in the mid-'80s, now when Brett took over, because that's when he was the man. We're talking about the mid to late 80s, right? Besides those two in the WWF, can you say we're transcendent workers?
Well, all right. With Hogan.
Yeah.
We had Mr. Perfect. We had
Perfect's 90s. Perfect's prime time 90s. That's Brett. We're talking about Hogan, right? The argument's Hogan, right?
The 80s.
Right. So now Hogan's thing is what, 84 to 92-ish? So those 8 years, 6-8 years, or whatever the case may be, right? So between, let's say, Cena's true ascension was that first run, right? So 06-ish, 05, 06. And let's say he went part-time 18, so 12-year span.
Yeah.
Edge, Batista. Talk about guys who had great matches and also were top guys. Like Batista, I wouldn't say he had great matches, but he was top guy.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, right?
You name an evolution. Well, you're Punk, okay.
Punk, Daniel Bryan. Like, there were more guys who had that top guy spot. Hogan suffocated that top guy spot. So, yeah, maybe we weren't talking about everybody the same way we were talking about Cena because he was the top guy. But he shared that light with everybody.
But Hogan's in the era where the champion was champion for multiple years. You had $1 Million Man who was the main reason for WrestleMania 4 with the tournament.
Okay.
You had Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Roddy
But
Piper.
how many stories do we hear of this guy was supposed to be the guy, but Hogan didn't want to do the job? Cena did the job. Cena would do the job. Cena would put Orton over. I was there when Cena put Rollins over. I was there when Cena put AJ over. Like, Hogan didn't do that.
Did he really need to put AJ over? AJ Styles is a once in a lifetime generational star.
No, AJ Styles is the greatest wrestler ever.
Yeah, he is. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he didn't put AJ Styles over,
he didn't need to put him over, but he did.
He did.
Hogan wouldn't do that. Hogan suffocated that spot, and the only reason he did the Ultimate Warrior thing is because he was probably getting stale there, and they realized it. Maybe. Oh, and yeah, from what I understand, there was supposed to be a rematch that never happened. He did the job because he was like, "I'm gonna do the rematch," which coincidentally is probably why 20 years later, when he did the match with Michaels, he was like, "Well, let me go over first, and then I'll do the job for him." He goes over. Oh, my back! I can't do the fucking job now.
There was no rematch with Ultimate Warrior because he couldn't even last a year without fucking that up. Warrior fucked that up himself.
That's a Warrior thing. What I'm saying is, how many times has Hogan in the WWF put a guy over and kept him there? He put Taker over, and 6 days later, he took the belt back.
How many people were on the same level as Hogan? They might not have been champion, but on the same level as Hogan. Versus
no one in his era, nobody.
Macho Man wasn't on the same level as him. The Warrior wasn't on the same level as him.
You're talking about overall popularity and merchandise sales and ticket selling and notoriety?
No, I'm talking about standings. Because you want to talk about Hogan suffocated the world title, we still had a title that proved that you were the best wrestler in the business.
But if you're talking about work rate, you're gonna sit here and say Hogan's a better wrestler than Cena?
You seen this shit in Japan? Have you seen John Cena sit on his ass on a rock bottom?
Armbar in Japan, and that's everybody's argument that he could wrestle.
Right.
John Cena gets suplexed by Kevin Owens, and everybody thinks he could wrestle.
What was that?
Come on, bro. John Cena gets one suplex done by Kevin Owens, and everybody thinks he can wrestle. He's so bad, he got Sami Zayn hurt on his entrance. What I'm saying is, listen, when John Cena was champion, it's not a coincidence that the Intercontinental title lost its value, the United States title lost its value, the tag team division lost its value, but they were at the height of their precipice when Hogan was there.
How is that Cena's fault that he's the WWE champion, though?
Because they put everything on him. They didn't. You want to talk about suffocation? Like right now, SmackDown. Name me something other than the bloodline.
That was a decision made by the man in charge.
See, look, even Kenny saying that y'all saying is bullshit.
What did I can't.
No.
See, so blame Cena.
He's talking about you. He's talking about us. All right, he's talking about you.
Hello, young lady.
So she brings her daughter out here to hit me with the chancleta?
That's it.
You did,
no, Randy's not gonna hit nobody with the chancleta today.
What's Hogan's top 3 matches of all time?
Him and Macho Man WrestleMania 5.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's his top match, but the Warriors' top match, WrestleMania 6 with the
I
Warriors.
want Hogan's top matches.
All right, that's good.
Give me a second. I gotta go through all of them.
Why you gotta think so hard?
Because he had more than 3. Bro, you have one good match with John Cena in the pocket, and I'm giving it to you with Kevin Owens.
Punk, Owens, Zayn, Cesaro, Rollins, AJ, Brock. Come on. Those are all better.
But hold on. Now, if we rewatch those matches in our mind, what was that match mostly? Them beating up Cena.
Right, because why? He wanted to share.
Because he puts people over.
You know who else gets beat up during that whole match? Hogan.
Yeah, but who wins?
Cena.
Hogan.
Cena wins too. Cena wins too.
How many times has Cena been champ? 17, 16?
Yeah, he's one away from
laid down 16 times, right?
So did Ric Flair, but that don't mean that he's the best.
But that's everybody's argument is that Ric Flair is the greatest wrestler of all time. Why? Because he gave.
No, first off, everybody's arguing Ric Flair is the greatest champion of all time because his matches were the greatest of all time.
His
He went
matches were
hours
dope.
long, and I'm not disputing any of that. But you know what I'm saying? It's like the fucking MVP lost for 2 years straight. Is he the greatest wrestler?
No.
So,
But
you know what I'm saying?
like we're arguing the same point for the different people. That's the problem.
It is a problem. So we can agree that Gigi should have never asked this question, and that the chat is wrong, and that's it. Shit,
Hold up. Hold up. I came back real fast for that shit. First and foremost, the reason why Ric Flair is the GOAT, okay, is because he went to different territories and put people over. Hence why he is a 16-time world champion, because he was putting other people over by giving them a title run for their territory that he was kind of visiting in at the time.
Shit,
okay,
mama.
but when he had to go back home, guess what? The champ, all right, had to come back home with the title. That's why Ric Flair is one of the greatest of all time, because he actually put people over. He put in that work to make that other person look good. You can go fuck yourself by saying that I brought up this fucking question. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. You fuck. Okay, we're gonna get into this.
First off,
I gotta go back and be your mom before I have to come back and cuss you out.
First, y'all just gave shit to Hogan for doing that to Undertaker, for losing Undertaker and then beating him on Texas Tuesday. Y'all gave shit to Undertaker, but when Ric Flair does it, he's the guy.
That's not even long enough.
Hogan did
it. Come on.
Hogan gave the title to Undertaker in 2 different generations.
The denial.
Don't forget about that.
The second time,
people come on the show. You come in embarrassing us with this bullshit. Your bullshit ass 1-800 facts about Hogan and shit like that.
First off,
unbelievable.
You calling me short is embarrassment. I'm the tallest podcaster in New York City, and some people say the world, Gigi. Okay?
Goodbye. No, unbelievable.
Some people say the world.
Hey, come fix your boy. He needs to fix it. All right?
Yeah.
I can't do this shit every week, man. This is why I drink. Stressing me out. I'm breaking out here. I had to fucking put makeup on so I don't look so crazy. But you talk crazy.
I'm speaking facts. This is supposed to be a nice interview. We're supposed to be cordial. No voices were supposed to be raising.
This fuck out of here.
Shit. See, even Show's not here, but he knows I'm right.
Yes.
See? I get someone to agree with me every chance I get. Oh, man. Shit. You see, Gigi starts some problems. But all right, now that we loosened up, that was a voice exercise, all right?
If it's anything, I'll put it on the TV.
All right. Jesus. All right, let me mute it real quick so that way if she starts beating her child, we don't hear it. But yeah, so now that we got that out the way,
okay,
and you passed certain tests, but you know, it's 50-50.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie though, to be honest with you, the era that we're in now, no one's really selling. So
it's become I don't want to say a spot fest because that's for certain things, but it's become more about just getting your shit in than telling a story, which is why guys like AJ Styles are fucking transcendent because they can do both.
Yes. Yeah, and I honestly think the selling is where the story is.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I'm sorry. Wait, were you listening to me laugh?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god! I thought I had my shit on mute. I just kind of laughing at Kenny's question, my bad.
Oh,
good question.
See what I mean? We was having a nice conversation. Let's talk about Dom and why he's money. Listen, if you think Dom is money, we're gonna have another fucking fight because of Gigi. We're not even
Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, we're not even 45 minutes into this shit, and all of a sudden you.
picking a fight, man. You picking a fight with everybody that comes on this show about fucking John Cena and Hogan.
Yes.
You're
You know why? Because
losing, and you need to just learn how to just stop at some point.
I got the facts. Show. Am I right?
Yeah.
Your facts is as fucking good as the Snapple facts that comes at the bottom of the fucking
They're
bottom.
the fucking truth.
All right.
They're the truth. Shit. Besides, I do this so that way they loosen up. So by the end of the show, they can give Sasha Banks my number. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyway, how do you feel about Dom Dom? Before we start talking about a real conversation, Kenny.
Dom Mysterio?
Yeah. He don't even want to call him Dom Dom. You see that shit?
He's got a bright future. He definitely has got the chicken shit heel thing down. And at what, he's like 20, 21? Like at that age to have that down already? He might be younger than that.
Shit.
But yeah, to have all that down already at that age, to have one of the greatest luchadors ever as your dad, to have that guidance, to be in the biggest company in the world before you're allowed to fucking legally rent a car, like he's got a lot of things in his favor. He's got to get the look a little more down. He still kind of looks like he's still developing his body, so he doesn't have that wrestler look. Like I want to say him and Finn are probably the same weight, but Finn looks like a legit wrestler.
Yeah, he does.
And Dom does. He's not there, but his body's still developing. He's got a lot of great things in his favor. Can he be money? Absolutely. It's all about if you do the right thing, if you get the right catchphrase, if you get the right move, if the machine is behind you the right way. But can he be fumbled because he's still in his infancy? Absolutely, because it could be a Drew McIntyre situation where he has all those things in his favor. He's fumbled. He hits the indies for 5 or 6 years, and he comes back and it's like, oh, this is a different person. So yeah. I think he definitely got money written all over him, either short term or long term. One way or another, it'll work because the fact that his last name is Mysterio and he has all these things already on his side is, I mean, unless his, God forbid, knock on wood, his life falls apart, there should be no reason he's not a big name going forward.
Now so real quick, Kenny's gloating because he didn't hear what you said. He didn't say he is money. He said he can be money. There's a difference between is and can. Because if you saw his face when you asked that question, Kenny,
right? Is serious. Money right now? No,
not
is
at
money
all.
Right now, no.
Not
can
at
be
all.
Money? Absolutely. But then, like, he's with Finn Balor, who's one of the best in the company. He's with Rhea Ripley, who's one of the best in the company. Damian Priest has been. I mean, I don't know if you guys how much you know about him as Punishment Martinez, but the transformation he's made to be this person now, he's busted his ass to be money. Like Damian's money now after everything he's gone through. Yeah. So you get to, it's just gonna happen. Like for the most part, through osmosis. Doesn't necessarily happen with everybody. Like it didn't happen with Luger and the Horsemen, but like it can happen where you get around the right people and you have all these things pushing you to be money. There should be no reason he's not money in the future. Money right now, like if he separated from Judgment Day, what would make him anything right now? At this moment, nothing. Yeah. So the possibilities are endless for him. But money right now on his own, absolutely not.
But the biggest thing he got to get over is being able to speak without that shitting grin that it's almost like it's a joke.
I feel like that's a part of it, though.
No, but you know when people like put the camera on, like say something to camera and they do the my name is you know the way. I feel like that's what that's him. Even when he tries to be serious. I beat up my father because he put the tree up in November.
That was funny though. Come on, that was funny.
When Rhea laughed, that was funny.
I enjoyed that.
But the thing is, it's not because it's November. You did it before Thanksgiving. That's when you get your ass kicked. Not because it's still November. No. He needs to learn his reasoning. He needs to learn.
You gotta put respect on that fed knee, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shit. And he's fucking Mexican, so he should know about that shit. And if he don't, he's never gonna be money. Ever. See, Kenny keeps changing his life. This is why I say I got the facts, because I say the same thing to every single person, no equivocation. Now Kenny all of a sudden about saying we saying the same thing. I said he could be money someday too. Nope, that's not what you said, Kenny. You said he's money now. Shit, you thought he was one of those the fucking lawyer commercials. It's my money and I want it now. That's the fuck you sound like.
Let's not do that where we turn another Mexican into a white guy. We're not doing that again. 2020.
Yo, listen, he's looking like one of those teens from the teen movie that don't know what race he is, and he's in the rich white, high school and shit, and fucking Rhea Ripley is that, hey guys, you want to smoke some weed?
But
like,
listen. When you hang out with money just happens to fall in your pocket. He's doing the right thing.
They're doing the right thing, but shit. Listen, I think Dominic made Rhea Ripley a bigger star than she is. But that's only because it showed more light to her, not that he's helping her out.
I think the spotlight is more just on her. Yeah, I think they're just having fun with it.
It was the situation. It was knowing that 14 years ago. So if it was 14 years ago, he's 22 now, right? Give or take. It was knowing 14 years
25.
ago. Huh?
25. He's 25. I looked at.
He's 25. Wow.
Yeah. He's 25.
Still didn't hit puberty.
Knowing, so then if it was 14 years ago, he was like 10, 11 when it's knowing that the whole situation with him, Ray, and Eddie and the I'm your papi thing ended up translating to Rhea, and she's like, I'm your mommy. So it's nostalgia coupled with this new person who is actually really fucking good in the ring by herself and as part of this stable. So it's like the circumstances. Because she was already a top star, it just ramped her up a little bit. So she went from 11 to 12.
No, yeah. I'm liking her more now than when she was right out of NXT facing Charlotte Flair, because I think Charlotte Flair kind of like threw a bucket of ice water on her heat. But listen, that's not another conversation we're gonna get into. What I want to get into is, my man, you're running your own wrestling organization. Like, one, how does that feel? And two, how hard is that shit?
It's so fucking hard.
I can imagine.
So fucking hard.
Give us a day of what your day looks like as running your whole show.
The day of the show, I'm the first one up. You gotta write the show up. You gotta organize it. You gotta get everybody set. I mean, you're an agent. You're an agent, a travel agent. You're a producer. You're a director. I take on the extra responsibility of being commentary. You got to run backstage. Like, it's a lot. That's why I try our best to spread it out, because it just it lessens the load at the moment, so you can spread it out over time. I can tell you that having Janelle on the team and her taking care of like sponsorship stuff and organizational stuff is, oh my God, it's so much weight off my back. Having Red taking care of apparel and merchandise and money the day of the show, like that is just such a huge monkey off my back. It's easier now that I have a team that's like consistently got my back, and they know exactly what it is to do. Before I had the full-fledged team, it was fucking a nightmare. I felt like I was aging way too fast than I really am. They definitely added years back onto my life, helping me out. But what's most important is the feeling, because it's never about me. You can ask people. I don't ever say you worked for Battlefield. No, we worked together. I own nobody. This is a very familial thing. It's about making sure that these people that I believe in have the proper platform so that they can be way more successful, so that we can have those moments where, like, oh shit, this dude's from the hood and he's on TV. I got somebody to look up to. Oh shit, she's real. And I know I've seen her in the indies and now she's on TV. It's about those things. It's about, representation. It's about creating a place for us that will eventually translate to them being mainstream, and then the mainstream is the place for us.
Okay.
And not for nothing, going to the shows I've been to, I do get that family vibe. Even the crowd, it feels like it's like a family thing. Like I remember the first time you walked up to me, like, "Yo, thanks for being here," and I'm like, "Did you tell him who I was, or did he just come up to me out of nowhere and just say thanks for being here?" And I figure it's like, no, he must do that to everybody. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
this is
I
it's
appreciate you guys. We don't just listen. There is no Battle Club without the fans, the sponsors, the talent, the staff, the roster. Like, it's a brand, and at Fallout, we teach that like you should never lessen yourself for the sake of a brand. That's not how it works. There's
yeah,
no brand without you guys, and they need to understand that. That's why I'm a huge proponent. Is like, don't ever do anything for free. That's first of all, because you do it for free. God forbid something happens to you, you're replaced. So, you
yeah,
have to have some kind of value, because once you put a value on it, then the value can only increase. It's hard as fuck to sit there and say, I'll do this for free after doing it for 5, 6, 7 events, to turn around and say, hey, can you pay me? Why wouldn't I just go, well, you were doing it for free. Why am I going to pay you now? Oh, you need money now? Well, I'll find somebody else to do it for free. So if
yeah,
you start with that, listen, I have fucking value. I can add value, whether it's a promo, whether it's a match, whether it's producing, whether it's sponsoring, like any plethora of the things that go on when it comes to a show. You have a value, and make sure that your value is known. You know, Wrestlers should absolutely never work for free, but we don't exist. Like I said, the brand doesn't mean anything without you guys. So that's why I'm a huge proponent of making sure like it's about everybody else. It's not
yeah,
about me. Like I can set the situation up, I can set the stage up, I can put the fucking ring together, but it's about everybody else, because that's what I want. That's what I saw growing up. My mom was busting her ass to take care of 4 or 5 kids, because she wanted us to be better than she was, because she saw her mom hustle to make sure that her 5 kids were taken care of. So like, that's my outlet now, is doing everything I can for a Matt Awesome, who's been super fucking impressive the last 2 times we worked together. 4 guys at the Fallout like Gamble and Cuzzo, and guys from other schools. I'm not an idiot. I know that there's nothing proprietary about independent wrestling. They're all independent contractors. So I have no problem utilizing the main event, who come from House of Glory, and putting the tag titles on them. I have no problem utilizing A Game, who's from T2T, because he's absolutely incredible. 3 of our 4 coaches are from Johnny Rob's Unpredictable School at Gleason's. Like, I get it. Everything in this business is for the wrestlers to get over. But this gatekeeping thing that happens is just so stupid to me. It's so stupid. It should always be about pushing the talent forward. Why? 2 reasons. That shit comes back. When you do good for people, it comes back. It might not be a day, a week, a year, a decade, but it does come back. And if you feel it never comes back, at least you have the sense of satisfaction to know I helped. I
yeah,
helped. I did what I could. On top of that, if you put the right people in the right places, then things start to turn around for the business as a whole. And we get away from those speaking out movements. We get away from people being canceled because they let shitheads into the wrong spots, and the right people who will push the right people are in place. So it should always be about making sure that the business is better than we left it. And the only way to do that is to push forward the correct people, the people who want the best for not only themselves, because as selfish as this business is, it can't just be about you. It's got to be
yeah.
about the next man.
I've always said that. It's like, how is something when you're putting on a show with a bunch of people? How can you be selfish when it's supposed to be like a team effort?
Yeah, but like, my coworker tells me this all the time. Like, Denzel Washington comes from drug money. A drug
Yeah,
lord would put him on, and it's like he had it, and he saw the talent in this kid, who is now one of the greatest actors of all time. Like, that should be everyone's mission, because everyone's life is finite. But if
yeah,
I can affect the life in a positive way, and then that person can affect another life, then the positivity just continues to grow and spread amongst everyone else. It should always be about another, because you're going to live your life naturally being selfish, because, it's the survivor instinct. But the problem is, when you get in those moments and you're just surviving first, you're not doing anything for anybody else. And at the end of the day, do you feel complete? Like, how many of these millionaires and billionaires, you know, unfortunately, like they have these breakdowns and these moments. We're seeing it with all these famous people. It's because they don't have a sense of fulfillment. Like today, I saw Mr. Beast is on the cover of Forbes. Like all he does is give back because he realizes he doesn't need everything he has.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That should be everyone's mission, bro. If everyone helped everybody else out, the world would be in such a better place. We wouldn't have to worry about war and famine. What we would worry about is the natural disasters that we can't fucking control. But like that's everyone's narrative is me, and all that shit ever does is drag everyone else down.
Yeah. And when there's enough of me, everybody separates. There's no one together, and it's harder to do things.
Exactly.
Like there's a motivational speaker I listen to, Les Brown. He goes, it's not about what you take with you, it's what you leave behind.
Exactly.
And, you helping people, whether they pay it forward or not, they're always going to know, and you left a mark in their life. You know what I'm saying? So a part of you is going to be a part of in them, whether they like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because you teach them. When you give them an opportunity, you teach them to give other people opportunity.
Yeah, and that's what it should be about, bro. Because, whether it's Hogan or Cena, you can't be on top forever. So if you don't give back, you've literally utilized this beautiful platform all this time, and then you've left it in a shithole because there's no one to replace you.
No, yeah, it's true. And not for nothing, I usually say this at the end of the thing, but you know something? You're the only person that I would concede the argument to you for Cena because the way you just put it with the whole giving stuff, because I do see Cena doing the whole make a wish and all that other stuff that he does outside of the ring. So
it's and I listen, I grew up, I'm almost 40. So I grew up seeing Hogan be the man, and I will never deny that Hogan being the man is what brought me into wrestling, and then Macho being the worker he was is what kept me loving wrestling. But you can't deny his impact on the business in a positive sense. But it has to just be more than being the champ, and Cena has that hand over fist.
He does have there's no skeletons in his closet yet. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of shit that people hate Hogan for, but there are some people that give Hogan credit, like Booker T.
You can't not give him credit, but I mean,
he helped out Booker T from what Booker T said.
I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm absolutely not for what this person's message was, but I'm not gonna use this specific person, but every horrible person that's ever existed has had someone go, that's not the person I knew. That person would help me do. So you can be terrible, but there's always going to be someone that knows a side of you that most people don't know. In this situation, it feels like there's way more people who have negative things to say about Hogan than there is people who have negative things to say about Cena. And it's
a perception that the particular wrestler leaves on people. This is the perception that they leave on, and perception is everything.
Yeah.
The perception of Hogan is that we all know that he is a racist. Why? Because of the shit that he fucking said out there and everything like that. But you also have to see that Hogan did put in a lot of work for this industry. And you can't dismiss it. No one is ever going to dismiss it. There's always going to be arguments, obviously, that we have, especially
I don't believe that.
With the Cena and Hogan. But again, at the end of the day, it's always a perception of what one has of the other. That's all it is. And I believe in good karma. You do good out in the world, good comes back to you, no matter what. You do shitty, and you get shitty karma.
No, yeah, I hear you.
The way the world is.
So real quick, another not serious question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Because, that Twitter page, there was about, 200 million people want me to ask. Now, I sent an email out to Willow Nightingale.
Okay.
And I told her I would twerk for her in a video if she came on this show.
Okay.
And I never got a response, but the next day she signs with AEW. Now, legend has it that she signed because of that email.
Wow.
Now, listen. She made me
I hate
twerk
you.
at the last Battle Club Pro event she was on because of Gigi's daughter. But my hips don't lie.
Okay.
Now,
So what were you gonna say?
She might have been a little bit too scared to see Mr. Wiggles come out of retirement, because I used to be a stripper and they had to stop me because I was making too much money.
Okay.
Wow, we went with Mr. Wiggles.
You may know. Is it true? Is the legend true that she signed with AEW so she wouldn't come on the show? Or
I don't think she signed with AEW to not come on the show. I think what I will say is, you twerking didn't hurt her signing with AEW.
okay, all right. Because something. Listen, man, I mesmerize people. Once you get the top going,
you frighten people. This is different. You frighten a lot of people.
Hey, listen, just because I have 13 restraining orders on me doesn't mean I frighten them. All right, they're just being cautious.
I just heard 13 is a lucky number.
Everyone loves Jello, Matt. All right. No, but all right. So going back to running the show, like, how difficult is it to get some of the talent that you have?
Honestly, by the grace of God, by the universe, whatever it is you believe in, I haven't had much trouble landing people that I would like to use. Off the top of my head, I could say maybe there's been 2 talents that I've really wanted that I couldn't get, and it wasn't so much that they were just, just didn't want to do the show. It's just like things just didn't work out. I've been really good. I think Battle Club's built a really good, strong reputation to make sure that they always try to take care of the workers. They always try to, make sure that they ensure their safety, and they feel appreciated. I think that's what's made it easy for me to pretty much utilize anyone that I've wanted to. It's a sense of feeling like part of something, like you don't get it doesn't come off. From what I understand, from what Talent has said, it's like when you work with us, it feels like you're a part of it. And it's not like you're just going to a booking to do a match and get paid. Yeah. And I love that because, like, we've all had that, oh, fuck, I got to get up and go to work. Like, and nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. Now, I'm blessed to my day job. I adore. I love it. Even on the tough days, because I build connection with students and stuff like that. So I want that to translate to wrestling. I want people, when they come work with Battle Club, to feel like, I'm part of this, even though, I might not be the main event, but I'm doing something to add value to this. And I'm showing that I matter. And I think that's what it is. It's sometimes just tough. There's communications. I've only had a couple of times where I've dealt with agents, and that just gets messy sometimes because like you talk to the talent and they tell you one thing and then the agent's being a hard ass. But I can say for the most part, like, talent acquisition, it hasn't been really difficult for me. I really think that the feedback that wrestlers and sponsors and fans give back when they talk about Battle Club is the reason why. So it's, again, it's not really me. It's just like, I provide a platform, I provide an environment that everyone seems to enjoy. And, this is a good place to work with. This is a good place to showcase your talents. So, yeah, I think that the toughest thing is just getting people in the seats, especially, now, like, everything is so expensive. They're talking about recession, possible depression. Like, it sucks, like, and if I had it, I wouldn't charge for a show. I'd be putting this on free if I could, but I can't, like.
No, yeah.
It sucks, and I try to do my best to keep it as low as possible. I don't want to line my pockets. I've been witness to, and it's in the news right now, the whole Jerry Jones things. Like, I've bared witness to too many people lining their pockets. They seem to be a certain shade, lining their pockets with greens that come off the backs of Black, brown, Asian people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that. It's not about me getting rich. It's about y'all having a stepping stone to get that generational money for you and your families.
Yeah.
So it's never about me. And I think that's why it's been, like we've had good crowds, it's not always what we need, but I think the hardest part is just like selling tickets because again, it's so tough. Like every show
Yeah.
I want to sell 1,000 tickets. Like the dream is always, I can't fit anybody else in the building. I'm sorry, you can't come in. Like it sucks, but like that's
Yeah.
the like, oh my God, dream. I think that's the most difficult part. But again, I know it's not. If we were in a period of abundance where people just had it, I'm pretty sure there wouldn't be an issue. But if you're sitting here and your issue is, I don't know if I have money for lunch for the week or I can go to this show. One, reach out. I've had people hit me up. Hey, listen, I want to go, but X, Y, and Z. Okay, how can we work with, how can we make work? Like I'm about making it work because I would rather people enjoy the product as much as possible and make it as easy as it can be for me to make sure everyone's taken care of than be a stiff, stern, no, you have to pay, you have to pay, you have to be this, then not have many people enjoy the product, which means, well, that's more on my end to have to take care of, which hurts me more. Like, if we can make it so everybody wins, that's all I want to do.
No, I hear you. And you mentioned before that like it wasn't you, it was the environment, but you set the tone for the environment. You know what I'm saying? Like there's one thing like doing this podcast, I had to learn that, when you're running the stuff, you have to set the tone and the vibe you give off, even the little few times I met you in person, you give off this wholesome, like this is a family vibe, like you're appreciative and all that. That's something that people can trust in and they're comfortable in. And it's not like if someone else was in your spot, they'll be able to do what you did. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something that naturally comes out of you. And and you yeah.
I appreciate the kind words, man. But like I said, it's like it's growing up, I didn't have it. Growing up, I couldn't go to shows. Like I didn't go to my first wrestling show till I was like 18, bro. Like my first WWE event. I went to one indie event when I was 12, and like, be penny pinched for me to go there. And my brother-in-law is what really helped me get there. So like if I could, if I could make it work for everybody, it's always about giving back, bro. Like whatever it is I could do, whatever it is the company could do, whatever it is the students, the wrestlers could do, so that for those 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever the show is, like the problems for you forget that you got a light bill due. You forget that you got to pay rent at the end of the month. Like it's about making people just feel alive without having to kill themselves. So I see what you're saying, and I don't want to pat myself on the back, but the fact of the matter is it's always about others. It's always going to be about others. It's who I am. It's how I was raised. I saw my mom busting her ass. She would always make sure we had, but then she'd always look out for the neighbors. She'd always look out for my grandma. She'd always look out for my grandma's neighbors. And then, again, my grandmother, who's, was my everything. She made sure all of her grandkids were okay. All of her sisters, all of her brothers, her nieces and nephews. Like, and it's just like talking about a poor woman from Brooklyn, but she made sure everybody was okay. So I'm just taking what I saw from two of the strongest women I've ever known, that I've been blessed to have in my life, and I'm doing it on a more community-based level because I grew up in the style where it was tough. It was tough for everybody.
Yeah, and all you really had was that community back in the day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I hate, and we're losing some of the community nowadays. But where you can find it though, and it's genuine, it's irreplaceable. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to pat yourself on the back, but I'll pat you on the back, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, I understand the humbleness, but I'm also the type of person, I'm not gonna let you sit here and not feel appreciated yourself. Even though I'm not saying you don't feel like you're not appreciated, but I feel it, and as genuine as a person I am, I want to let you know that yes, you also. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that.
No problem, bro. Now, you mentioned your mom motivating you to be how you are. Like, what motivated you to want to, have a wrestling company and get you in that business?
So, like, lifelong fan. My earliest memory is Tito Santana and Macho Man Randy Savage. Boston TD, this TD Garden now was the Boston Garden back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my earliest memory of wrestling. So lifelong fan, watching Saturday Superstars and, trying to stay up for ECW. Like any moment I could get wrestling in, I would watch wrestling. Having AWA tapes and, old WCW tapes and all those things. I started to see, it was with the advent of YouTube, like, this DIY thing is really like taking off. Like, no, we're going to skip doing this and just do it on our own. So like I started seeing that. I started around 2010, really started watching like indie products and stuff of that nature. Started a Facebook group because it's funny. I started a Facebook group because all I saw online was people bitching about wrestling. 12 years later, it's the same.
Yeah.
But like I started it to try to be a positive environment. I just wanted the positivity about wrestling, right? And then I added my cousin, who added his friends that he went to school with. One of them was training to be a wrestler, realized that training to be a wrestler really wasn't what they were doing, but they saw that there was a market for better production on the independent level. Eventually, they started Battle Club Pro, which is Carlos Aristi. He's the founder. And all him and I ever did was argue. All we ever did was argue. It's just, but it's wild because it's like, all we did was argue because he thought Ryback was the next Cena, and I thought CM Punk was the next Shawn Michaels. We were both terribly wrong. But
well, damn.
but in the arguments, we both saw each other's points of views and the intricacies of how we viewed the business. So when he started Battle Club, he hit me up and said, "Hey, I want you on commentary." And I always say yes to opportunities, because if you fuck up, well, at least you got experience.
Yeah.
If you say no, you'll never get the experience. So I said yes, and I didn't think it was legit until I started seeing graphics. And I was like, oh, this is actually happening. So I started studying. I hit him up. I said, yo, I just don't want to do commentary. I want to be a partner. I want to be way more entrenched in this. And he was like, all right, I'll give you opportunity to work towards those things. And as we did more shows, I got more responsibilities. And his mission was real simple. He wanted to do a bunch of good shows in the Bronx. And he felt like I was better for this long term and being able to spread it out more. So he gave the company to me in July of 2018. I tell the story all the time. It's hysterical. Like, we're about to go through the curtains, and he says, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm done with this. It's yours now." And I'm like, "What?" And then I'm standing next to Brian Pillman Jr. and he looks at me and he goes, "Well, kid, you're in charge." I'm like 10 years older than Pillman. He's like, "Well, kid, you're in charge now." And I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? But I've always wanted to be part of the business, but I didn't want to be a wrestler, as weird as it sounds. Because dad wasn't really around when I was young. It's so weird. All I ever wanted to do was be a dad, but I didn't want to just have a bunch of kids. I wanted to, find the right person and have, a real family so I could be a real father. And that shit never happened. And believe me when I say I've tried, but it just never happened.
Yet.
Yeah. It hasn't happened to this point, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? It hasn't happened to this point. So when I hit 30, I was like, yo, I'm gonna figure out how to be in the business one way or another. A couple of years later, Battle Club is a thing. A year later, actually, Battle Club is a thing, because 2015 is when Seth cashed in, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I went to Vegas with my homegirl to go see WrestleMania. She lived in Vegas, so I flew to Vegas and we drove up from Vegas to Santa Clara. And on that drive, I said it to her, and I forgot. I said to her, I don't know how I'm going to figure out how to get into the business without being a wrestler. And then once I was fully in charge of Battle Club and then also running another company called Innovative, she sends me a message. She goes, 3 years ago, you said you were going to be in the business. Now you're running 2 promotions. And I was like, oh, shit, I forgot about that. So it was always just wanting to be in it because I loved it so much. And like I said, when I hit 30 and that switch, I flicked that switch where it's like, all right, the dad thing isn't happening. I guess it'll happen sometime down later. It's time for me to go after what I love. And now, 7 years after that, I got a wrestling school. I run a wrestling promotion. And I have 33 babies. That's what I call them, even though some of them are around my age. They're my wrestling babies. So I don't have any biological kids, but I have a ton of people that I love and adore and look after and do everything I can to get them in a position to be as successful as possible. And it literally was 3 a.m. in the morning from Vegas to Santa Clara, pitch black road, going 100 miles an hour because she had a Mustang. Yeah, we rented a Mustang. And just saying that, putting it out there, and it happened. And I had forgot that I ever said it. She reminded me years later.
That's
Shit,
dope.
that's one hell of a story right there.
Yeah.
That's so fucking dope.
The crazy thing, you listed 2 dreams right there, being a dad and being in the business. So you're in the business now, and whichever way you would have got it first, it would have had to prolong the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
exactly.
you're still young enough to be a father. You know what I'm saying? So like that can come. And if you would have had a kid first, you would have still been young enough to have a business, the wrestling thing. You just had to wait a little longer.
I don't know, man. Like,
you would have just devoted yourself to the child.
Right.
And,
dude, because like I said, I didn't have that. Like, growing up, man, it was all mom, grandma. And then when I got to like the teenage years, it was my sister's boyfriends and their friends. Like, I didn't have a father figure, and I yearned for it so much, and it never really happened. Like now, on the back end, not the back end, but like, as I've matured and I've gotten into my 30s, my dad has been infinitely better, and I love him, and he's great now. But when I needed him, he wasn't there. So if I had a kid, there's no way I would have shut wrestling out. I was like, that's my only purpose in life. So it had to happen this way. And I really didn't realize it until we did that first Fallout show and we took a group picture, and I saw, I was like, yo, there are like 30 kids here and this is their dream. And I'm working my ass off to make sure that they can achieve their dream. And they're working their ass off to achieve their dream. And it was just a beautiful thing to see, because not only did that happen, but like, you should have Mike Law on the podcast when you get a chance. Mike was ready to call it quit. He was ready to call it quits. And when I called him and say, hey, we're opening up a wrestling school, I need someone who's amazing in the ring and who's reputable outside the ring. And he had a resurgence. Jorge Santi was the best independent wrestler in the New York scene forever. He retired because he felt like, yo, I'm not going to get anywhere. He came out of retirement because of the Fallout Shelter. Steve Pena was a spot guy for Evolve, came to the Fallout Shelter, and there's no denying, for the person that lives in New York, he's the king of New York. You can, like, Danny Moff is up there as top guy, Darius Carter's up there as top guy, but they don't live in New York. Pena is New York born and bred and is the top guy in New York. Masha Slamovich, look at her. Impact. She was on AEW. She did NWA. She started, her first match at Battle Club was an untaped pre-show match. And now she's arguably the best wrestler in the world that isn't on a mainstream platform like AEW or WWE.
And she's tough.
And it's like, all of this stuff is surrounding Fallout. And none of that would have happened if it wasn't for the Facebook group, the arguing, randomly saying, I want to get into the business, becoming Battle Club Pro, Battle Club Pro's principal owner, having that family tie. Like, everything I have now and that I love with all my heart all stem from trying to give everybody else something to love. And that's why I'm gonna keep doing it, because everything that means something to me now. I have a 9-year-old nephew. He's on the spectrum, and it's tough because he's kind of in the same situation that I was in at his age. Dad wasn't really around. Dad's around a lot more than my dad was, but he's not there all the time for whatever reasons. So me and him are super close. He now loves wrestling. All of this is because all I want to do is give. And it's like being backhandedly selfish. Like, the more I'm giving, the more I'm getting. I might not have that moment with my baby whenever it does come yet, but I can see a Cosmic flourish. I can see a Cuzzo flourish. I can see a Gamble flourish. I can see kids in the crowd who didn't really care for wrestling lose their mind at shows when Pena wins the title or A Games almost win the title. The wrestling club, like, they're part of the family now. Like, all of that wonderful stuff is just me trying to give to somebody else. And in turn, I'm getting everything that I could ever have wanted and more.
And that's so amazing. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. My daughter loves coming to these shows. You've seen
She's
her.
awesome.
She's
Yeah.
ready. She's like, yo, sign me up, but I don't want to get hurt. Like, let me do the hurting. I don't get hurt. Don't touch me. She's like, hey, I'll see you soon. So, coming with you for with the chocolata.
Yo,
Call
yeah,
Matt. Call Matt. Set the date. We're doing this.
yeah.
And
I have an after show match with her daughter. After every show, she beats me up with the chocolate.
she's coming for him. Listen, it's all right. She's half the height. But it just to the overall vibe where she's like, I'm into this. I want to see what's going on. This is cool. Mom, I love this. This is so fun. When's the next one? When's the
January
next one?
21st.
And I love it because the knuckleheads will definitely be in the building.
That's
We are
right.
definitely going for it. Tell me,
So,
what is it looking like right now? What is this show? What are we looking forward to now?
let me backtrack a little bit, right?
Okay.
I've only got one rule when it comes to the management team at Battle Club, and it's like, I book. That's my thing. I love putting matches together. I love things being stylistic. So for Jobber Slam 2, Matt was promised a spot, but it wasn't cleared with me. So respectfully, like a man, I told Matt, listen, wasn't cleared with me. Also, I love you. I love your support. I haven't seen enough from you. I need to see more. He understood. So I gave him 2 opportunities afterwards. He knocked those out of the park. So on January 21st at Welcome to New York, Matt's making his Battle Club Pro debut.
Okay.
Let's fucking go! Yes!
There you go. And
we announced it at on the anniversary, October 1st. Darius Carter will be facing Steve Pena.
Nice.
For the
we
titles?
announced it. So they want to have a sit down. They want to have a sit down. So that's going to be coming soon. They're going to have a sit down to discuss the parameters of the match.
Okay.
And the match I've been looking to book it'll be 4 years now at this point. We announced it on his birthday. Wilkins will make his Battle Club Pro debut, and he's going to be wrestling Simon Miller.
Okay.
Wow. Yes.
Yo, like Gorilla Monsoon would say, it sounds like a happening.
About fucking time. Let's go. Now that's going to be fun. I'm excited for that. Holy shit.
Seriously.
All the shit talking they've been doing for years.
Right.
It's great.
Each other at WrestleMania.
God. That's it. I'm here for this. I'm here for all of this.
So my brother watches the Simon Miller coach, so he knows him, and he came to the Fallout show that you guys did Halloween.
Yeah.
And so I gotta drag him to this one.
Oh, you got yeah. You know what's great? So like I said, after our 3-year anniversary in 2019, I had reached out. I was like, hey, I want to do you and Wilkins. And I had explained why. You guys both have very, very intricate views on the business. You guys are parallel to each other. You were podcasters first, and now you've gotten into the business. You're jacked, you're bald. There's just all the similarities, right? Like you're from the UK, he's from New York, right? And he was down. He was like, "Oh, this is awesome." He was down with it immediately. And then, we all know what the fuck happened in 2021 and 2020. All the nonsense, right?
Yep.
So that last viewing party was it? It was Survivor Series, right?
Yes.
The last
that just happened, yeah.
So that week, like I've him and I have stayed in touch, but that week he sent me a message like, "Hey, this is happening, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, it absolutely is." All right, I need to confirm. And then he told me some cool stuff that's going to be happening alongside. So we're going to have the show. We're going to have like a special signing and meet and greet with him as well. But for him to hit me up, he's got the following he's got, but he hit me up, "Yo, I want to make this is happening." And I was like, "Oh, snap." So I had told Wilkins, and Wilkins had this huge smile on his face. Yeah, he texted me too, the same thing. And I was like, "All right, cool." So, it's finally going to happen. And it's great. Like, you always got to look at the bright side of things. Yeah, COVID did so much damage to things, but I think at this point, Wilkins has raised his stock to that level of Wilkins as Simon has. So the dominance that Simon has overseas, Wilkins has, everything he's done with, Unsanctioned and Complex, all the stuff he's done with Vice, the stuff he's done with Hog, the Jobber Cheers podcast, the Jobber Cheers network, like all the wonderful things he's done. He's got his stock. So it's now no longer who is this guy Simon Miller's wrestling. It's like, no, they're head to head, they're toe to toe. So you look at the bright side of things. Yeah, the world was on pause, but in that time, Wilkins has done everything and more to raise his stock to be that dude. And I will always side with Jobber Cheers podcast. I'll never forget it. There was a business meeting being had. Wilkins was there. Something was said, and Wilkins looked at me and walked away. And I knew in that moment, Wilkins understood that what was said was absolutely made no sense and inappropriate. We then spoke on the side, and when he came up with Jobber Cheers podcast, it was absolutely not even a thought in my mind to not work with them. With Janelle, with Dre, with Yardley, who's currently training next door at Fallout. It was family. Like, he understood what we're trying to do. I understood what they were trying to do. And yeah, we've grown to be a family. So it's wonderful. All that stuff has happened. Like, you can't go back and change the past. All you can do is find those things that were positive in it. And quick story, like, I literally at the beginning of the lockdown, I lost my grandmother, who's the most important person in my life. But if I didn't lose my grandmother in that moment, I would have never had the avenue to start the Fallout shelter. Like, yes, it was the hardest thing, and it's still hard, and it still breaks my heart when I stop and think about it. But if I didn't, what is now the most important thing in my life outside of my family. So you have to search the positives. And like I said, COVID took a lot away, but in that time, Wilkins, Janelle, Dre, Yardley, their stock has skyrocketed. So they've been advantageous of that happening.
They've definitely been putting in that work around. And I love Janelle. Yeah. She actually was the one that reached out to me for Women's Crush Wednesday. And that was by far the first indie show I've ever been to, and my first indie show I decided to yes. You gotta love it.
He's out first.
I'm the cream filling in the sandwich.
Bing bong.
Yeah.
See, he's gonna go to bed tonight on some.
No, I'm gonna ask Byron when my next check is. That's what
Oh man.
Oh my god! But she hit me up and she was like, I know you're such a fan. Want to do something? And I was like, fuck it, why not? When 420, I was like, I fucking love that day. Where? Brooklyn. I said, shit, that's far. I was like, but you know what? Fuck it. If you don't take that leap, you don't know what opportunities you miss. So I definitely went for it. And it was definitely Sick and Juicy versus Janai Kai
That
and
was so dope.
Jordan Blade. Oh my god, that was like it. And I might be tooting my own horn, and I don't care because it's me. But that match was really for me like the match of the night because it was just so hard hitting back and forth. Such a great match. Like it's like a story that literally unfolded in the ring in front of our eyes, and it was a beautiful thing to watch. And that was right before the main event with Big Swole. And oh my God, what's her name? I see her face. Oh, I'm terrible with
Gryffindor.
names. Thank you. Oh man, I see her all the time on AEW, and I was just like, yes, let's go. And I'm like, I love it. And it's a great thing to see because, as a sponsor, it just feels so good to like you said, help get them to that dream, that next level, because you feel like you're a little part of their story, and I feel like with wrestlers in the indie circuit, it's just like you're watching their story unfold every time they wrestle, and then every time they have this just like one-on-one, interaction with you and just shooting the shit with you and just having a good time. It is just that much of a good feeling overall around. And it's like a drug. You got to just come back for it. And it's just so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah, those dopamine levels definitely skyrocket. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And, the unfortunate side of the business is sometimes money exposes people and who they really are. Mm-hmm. But we all come from the hood, and those who are real will always stay real. And it's wonderful when you get those moments where like they make it and they still show you love, and it's just like that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. Like for those other people, you wish them the best. Hey, that's great. I'm great for them. I'm happy for them. They've gotten to their dream. Whatever means they felt they needed to do it. That's fine. It's all fine and dandy. You know that you gained mileage on your heart because you did what was best in that moment for them, whether they appreciate it or not. But then those who come back and they show you the love, like it's nothing's changed, man. That's the best. That's the best.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. You could speak, and I'm sitting here listening, and every time you start speaking in my head, I was like, oh shit, I gotta come up with another question. I was too busy listening to this guy speak because the way you tell these stories, I'm like, I don't even need to be in this head. I'm just listening because
it's a technique I developed for my day job, man. And like I said, I love it. I love it. I love being able to have those interactions with the students where you can calm them down, you can connect with them on a deeper level. One moment I could be entrenched in creating balloons with just a student, just to calm them down, and then the next we could be talking Knicks basketball, Nets basketball, and then you have those bonds. And the best is when, just like what I said with the wrestlers, when the students come back to visit you and they're grown and they have kids, and you're like, wow, I remember when you were tearing up the hallway because you were mad that the teacher told you to do some work, and now like you're a dad. Like that's the beautiful thing. But yeah, like and it's weird because I don't like to talk much, but you've set the tone, and I appreciate you for it. It's very energetic, it's very uplifting. It's not monotonous and not boring and not tedious. So like my shell's wide open with you guys. But yeah, like it's a skill I've developed over the last 10 years working in education, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. And I tell you, man, I've been punched in the face, the nuts, scratched, damn near stabbed, like have things tossed at me, and I wouldn't trade it for the world because I understand in those moments those kids are going through some tough stuff, whether it's at home or in school or just in their mind at the moment. And they just need love. and
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm there to love him.
No, I hear you. And and just like you, my goal is to have everybody that comes on the show feel like they belong. One, because we really want them here, and two, just to be comfortable enough with us, because we're a bunch of genuine people, and we love wrestling, and and we want to
Everybody
experience
except Hulk
that with you.
Hogan.
Fuck it. If you, I accept. Listen, I accept people, not liking who they like. I had to. I'm attached to Hogan because
Oh
growing
yeah,
up,
of course.
he was the only person I ever wanted to be. Like
Yeah.
I've like my mother and my uncle always
You're a
told
better
me to be
looking
my
bald guy
own
than
man.
he is.
I appreciate that. I wear the beard better.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah,
It's not painted on.
yeah.
Oh.
Like I was taught to be my own man, so I've never wanted to emulate anybody. But Hogan was the one person I wanted to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like having that, and then when he turned NWO, I was still a child. So to me, it was real. And I turned around to my father, and I'm like, why is he doing this? Now I can't cheer him. He's my favorite wrestler. And my pops goes, it doesn't matter. You can still like him. And that's when I learned, like, okay, you can accept people for who you are. So a lot of life lessons that I learned came from a situation Hogan was in. So that's why I'm attached to him. The shit he said in private and all that other stuff, I can't control that. But I can control what he did in the wrestling ring. You know what I'm saying?
You can still appreciate his work.
Yeah.
Sure.
So when other people don't like him, or they hold him to those standards, and I don't take it personal. I do defend him a little bit, but listen, that's just me stirring this shit up.
A little bit. That's an understatement, sir. I'm just saying.
Everyone here knows I'm not emotional. Okay.
Stop your shit. Stop your shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop the lying.
No, but yeah,
we already know we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
No, but listen, that's true. But everyone here has a chance to be themselves, and I encourage them to be themselves. So that's why it's you saying that. I appreciate you saying that, and I felt like my job is done.
It's definitely It's up there with Jobber Cheers as some of the most fun I've had on the podcast.
Appreciate you. Appreciate that. We're not done yet. So y'all people better not turn off. We still fucking talking here. He had to give me that jab back after I, gave him his pat on his back. I see how you're doing it. Touche, sir. I see this. You got this round.
Let me ask you, what is your favorite wrestling match overall? Any wrestling match? What's your favorite? Or if you can't even, like, it's a tie, just give me top 2 or 3.
Wow. So, and no, she didn't stump me because I'm in the same right now. I'm in the same boat as you with what I'm about to say, because nobody likes this guy right now, but he's my all-time favorite, and it's Punk, Cena, Money in the Bank.
Okay,
the kiss goodbye, like, because you don't believe it's gonna happen. You're like, there's no way he's gone and leaving with the title. There's just no way. Like, you've literally watched them screw Bret Hart because they thought that would be the situation. Yeah. And it happened. It happened. And it's just like, holy shit. That I'll throw you a curveball. When Owen Hart beat Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10. And then Bret goes on to win. But my thing is, and very similar to you, like, but Owen beat Bret that night. Like, Owen should be the champ.
Owen should have been to pin him. Wow. What's going on?
I was talking about this match the other day when Sting beat the Giant to become the tag team champions by himself. I don't know why, but I love that. I love that match. I love that match. Man, I would go. Bro, it's hard to argue against any AJ Styles match that he's had in the E, except that Nakamura one, and I think that was just nerves. For some reason, I think it was just like the WrestleMania nerves got to both of them. It wasn't a bad match; it just wasn't what they could have done.
Yeah. You think they limited them? Like, do you think there was one of those you guys don't have enough time to do what you would do in Japan, and they just was like, shit, we're gonna have to do it WWE style?
It could have been that, but I've at least being, sitting back and watching, I've never felt like they put the handcuffs on AJ Styles.
I can see
I
that.
felt
Yeah.
like he was always had free reign, and it was, it was Triple H really vouching for him. Like, no, this dude is generational talent.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 12, Brett and Shawn is another one that like I watched so many times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. I would probably go the Money in the Bank where Punk went up, just as a personal like favorite.
And the story behind that was
right. The story behind that was incredible. My favorite wrestling match on the independent scene is the Sea Stars versus Santana and Ortiz, because of what that moment meant with Santana and Ortiz then going on to AEW, like us for that moment being their last independent show. Because I don't know how many people know this, but Santana and Ortiz were in the first match I ever called as a commentator.
I did not know that.
So like they've done a couple podcasts that I like snuck in on, and I would say, yo, they have a special place in my heart because they were in the first match I ever called.
Yeah.
So like to see where they have gone and to have that moment, it's changed now that I believe their AEW contract opened up so they could do more independent stuff. We've utilized Santana since he signed, which was a great triple threat match for the franchise title. But like that just meant so much to me because it in that match, like having the Sea Stars go up, because I'm a huge proponent of women's wrestling. When it's done well, it's done masterfully with such a beautiful thing. To have them beat the team in New York, the team that's been the team forever, and then that team to go and show up on TV not too much after, knowing we were their last gig before they made that jump, like everything that encompassed it, on top of the match that the New York State Athletic Commission didn't show up for, so they did what the fuck they wanted, and it was wonderful. But yeah, I would say that would be like to me that was like one of those holy shit kind of moments, because also Shotzi Blackheart was on that show. She opened that show against Matt McIntosh, and not too long after she got signed. So not too long after that event, Swole got signed. So it was just like that event in itself, all intergender, was dope. But then to see where people's career has gone after that was like, oh wow. And again, also that event, Masha's first match with Battle Club, pre-show and taped. So like to see the growth of all those people, and for the most part to be in contact with them still afterwards, it's just wonderful. Just so wonderful.
That is dope. I wanted to ask you how does it feel to have talents like that being signed to like major companies?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful for a guy like Santana, knowing that he's the Bronx through and through, and he decided even with the bag he was going to stick around. Like that's such a wonderful thing, to see how Swole has elevated. She said that like Battle Club was the first company to fly her out and have her do a show, and in my mind it's like, why wouldn't anyone fly her out? She's so damn good.
Yeah.
And then like for her to hit that pinnacle, and then to stand on her ground, like, yo, I don't like the way this shit is running. I don't care about the bag. Like I'm not coming back. Like that shit is so meaningful because it's an empowering statement. It's like I trust in myself enough that I'll be okay without the contract. It's wonderful. It's wonderful because that's all at this moment, all we can be is a stepping stone for them to elevate. We're not at that place where, and it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. And if everything goes my way, like God willing, like the coaches at the Fallout will be the first people I sign to a legit contract. We'll get there. I don't know when, but it will get there. But for right now, to see that they're getting contracts elsewhere and being featured prominently is such a beautiful thing. They put in so much work. They do the drives. They do they fly late nights, constant training, not really caring about relationships. Like, no, my dream comes first. To know all the hardships they go through, it's beautiful when they finally get what they've been working for.
Man, that's awesome. That's like poetic right there. The way you put that, that's just that's dope. I do have another. Who was your first? And but like I don't know what I mean by that.
Oh shit.
Yo, Amanda, you fucked up.
Okay.
No, but like when you first got into the battle club and you started running, like who was the first person that you like wrestler or someone that like taught you someone you connected with and you was like, all right, I'm learning based over this relationship.
Was Carlos. It was the original founder. Carlos was the first one to like put these things in play, and then seeing how other companies operated and knowing that wasn't the way I would operate. Dave Sturcio was my commentary partner, and he really tried his best while we worked to try to get me to be the lead voice, which was great. I would say probably the closest friend I've had from Battle Club in its infancy as a wrestler would be Trevor Eon. He's from Atlanta. He's one of the guys whose timing is just so it's like if you're not looking for that, you would never see it. If you're just a fan watching wrestling, you go, "Oh, this guy's good." But if you're looking for those little moments, it's like, holy shit! Like this dude is so dope. He's becoming a wonderful friend. I don't want to break kayfabe, so I'm not going to name him personally, but there's a certain individual who is the wealthiest consolation that you could get from a match, who's become a really great friend. A lot of people hate his guts because he doesn't think many people are worthy of his time. He's wonderful. Outside of that, outside of actual wrestlers, the guys that I run the Fallout Shelter with, Mr. Martinez of Federated and the Gift God Hokai, like they're my brothers. Like I've learned so much from both of them in two totally different aspects. From Mr. Martinez, it was a business aspect. It was how to be appropriate in the business, how to carry yourself in the business. From Hokai, from the Gift God, is what to look for in something that can add to your product more than just a spot fest or more than just the promos, like an overall wrestler, and what can they bring to me? What can they bring to Battle Club that would make it feel different than where they would go anywhere else? I would say those two non-wrestlers in that aspect. And I've known Janelle well before wrestling was ever a thing. And I've known Isaiah Wolf well before wrestling was ever a thing. And to see their growth in the business and being with them in their growth is amazing. I'll let there was a family situation back in 2012 with Isaiah. I bought him a beer. I was like, yo, if you need anything, I'm here for you. And then, 10 years later, he wins the match at Black WrestleFest on Father's Day. And I know how important that was for him. And I know it was super important for me to to be there to witness that. So that, and like I said, Janelle's had my back well before wrestling was ever a thing. She was just always such a dope, kind and loving person. And now to be business partners with her, to be business partners with Red. I've known Red now going on 24 years.
Wow.
Like, two-thirds of my entire life. And for him to be my business partner in Battle Club, to run the apparel shop, to run Battle Club shop, to be, an outside set of eyes, and to know that, like, I don't have to worry about money or anything like that, because our friendship transcends all of that. I know I can leave Red and Janelle at the door, and I ain't got to worry about being shortchanged, because they're my friends, they're my family before they're business partners.
Yeah.
So those six people, he who shall not be named, that wears a scarf and a nice suit all the time, Trevor Eon, Mr. Martinez, Hokai, Janelle, and Isaiah Wolf, and then just on the personal level, Red.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. And so you make a community everywhere you go, huh?
But that's what you got. You got to, man. You got to. We've all grown up. We've all had that, especially the statistics on the mental health of Black and brown people, specifically Latinos and African Americans, so harsh, because we're just like, we're conditioned like, yo, shit's gonna be hard, fucking deal with it. But when you have that opportunity to make a family out of something, like you take advantage of it because
Yeah.
we've had those down moments where like, fuck, how am I going to get out of this? Fuck, what am I supposed to do right now? But if,
Yeah.
if you have a community that's got your back, maybe they can't help fix the problem, but they can motivate you to get to fix the problem on your own. So you have to have a community, bro. It takes a village. It takes a village.
Yeah.
It's such a cliche, but it does. It takes a village.
No, it's true. Because
Absolutely.
sometimes when you go through something, just to have someone there, not necessarily doing anything, just someone there means a lot.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of stuff happening.
Yep.
If you don't mind, would you like to answer some of the questions that the chat has? We got some
So
questions.
yeah, the way I got my phone set up, I can't see any of the things from the chat. So
I got you. All right, so Kenny from the call up, even though he started the beef earlier, him and Gigi, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not blaming nobody. I'm just giving y'all credit.
Wow.
He goes, when it comes to the school, is there anyone that stands out to you that you say to yourself they will be a star?
Oh, without question. Within the next 3 years, I totally predict that Big Cuzzo, Cosmic, Anthony Gamble, Sammy Chaos, Spice Spiegel, Abraham Khan, Rembrandt, and Jordy Lee will be signed somewhere or on TV somewhere, without question. KJ Mack and Dave Rivera as well as a team. Those guys, the captains and those standouts. I'm not going to take away from where they trained before. They were trained somewhere else before, and everyone except for Jordy, I believe. So they all have grounds somewhere else. I'm not taking them from anyone else that they worked on them, but I genuinely believe with the guidance of Santi and Law and Pena and Masha, we've elevated them to the point where them being signed is just inevitable.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing Big Cuzzo in that gray sweatpants battle royal in the Java Slam, and I'm not gonna lie, he flung homeboy. I don't know who it was, but he flung him from one end of the ring to the, and I did the holy shit.
Cuzzo's special, and what people don't realize, because he's very loving and accepting, he's so nice. Cuzzo's about Brock's size. He might not be as wide. He's got the height and the fucking frame though. Like Cuzzo's monster of man.
Yeah.
He's massive.
He's almost my height.
Yeah.
He's almost my height.
Shut the fuck up. This man towers you. All right. My child almost towers you.
Yeah, me and Mike Law know what it's like, okay?
Right.
Right.
You don't look at us the right way. That's all. It's about the angles,
I would, but you know what? I would say what I'm most proud of though is Spice, Sammy, Jordy, and Cosmic being like the faces of the Icons division going forward. Like, because like I said, I'm so pro women's wrestling, so pro women's sports, but like they're all special in their own way. It's so beautiful. Like they're finally getting their feet wet in other promotions. I mean, I think already in the New York area, Cosmic's top 5. If you remove Masha, you got JC Storm, you got Violet, you got oh man, now I'm drawing a blank. You got Cosmic. Oh my God, why isn't that coming to me? Lala's, I don't know if she's officially relocated, but like Cosmic's already like top 5 in New York if you're taking, people who have contracts out. And that's wild because it's pretty much like this is like her rookie year. She's like kind of like, to parallel it for anyone watching that's not necessarily too in tune with the indie scenes, it's kind of like her and A Game are kind of like both on a Kurt Angle-esque start.
Yeah.
And it's wild.
I would have never guessed this is her rookie year. The match I saw her in the Fallout and in the second Battle Club Pro we did, you said it was Santi? She had the match with Santi?
Oh,
she wrestled Masha. She wrestled Santi at Warriors of Wrestling.
Okay. The Spanish guy. I forgive me.
You talking about Abraham, the outside show?
Oh my God,
that was great.
This is the one that Gigi promoted Thick and Juicy the second time, and Brooke Valentine hurt her knee.
Oh,
Yeah.
she wrestled oh my God, shooter Killian McMurphy.
Yeah, watching that match, I was like, yo, this girl
That
can
was
go.
so legit matches that have been on shows. I think she's only she's under 20.
Oh wow.
Yes. I went with her to do Women's Wrestling Army in Chicago, and wrestlers kept coming up to me. It was like, was that really her 11th match? Like, yeah. They're like, get the fuck out of here.
No, yeah. She's
Yeah,
smooth.
so, she's so good.
Yeah. I was watching, I was like, yo, this girl is nice.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And again, we're not gonna take anything away from anyone that has helped them along their way. That is her training with Rembrandt for years and years and years, her really taking to him. And then, like I said, it was just, she was great. Coming here, we just flipped the right switches, and she just elevated. And now we're putting her out there, and she's so proud and so loving to be part of us. It's wonderful to see.
Yeah, that is dope. Leon wants to know if Battle Club's ever going to come to Chicago.
I want to travel. So here's the thing, though, right? And I've been upfront about it on other shows. I've been upfront about it on other podcasts. With the Fallout, like I'll parallel it again. If you're not too familiar with the product, Battle Club's the brand, Fallout's the school, WWE's the brand, NXT's the feeder. So they'll still have their thing, but it's all under the WWE banner. So my mission now is to make those students the stars of Battle Club. And once I have that set roster, and that's what we're going forward to, I would absolutely travel with them everywhere.
Nice. Okay. All right. So, all right. The other two questions are about the WWE. You mind transitioning there?
Yeah.
All right. Whatever. All right. I just listen. I want to hear you speak. So whatever you want to talk, you want to talk about the Jets, we can talk about the Jets.
Man. We'll save that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we can talk about whatever you want. We a bunch of knuckleheads, man. There's no.
So we all can't be winners. I'm just saying,
Yo, they got a winning record right now. I'm just saying.
Wait, who's your football team?
The Giants.
What's your record?
The Giants.
She likes the Giants. I'm a Jets fan.
What's the Giants record though?
Ooh.
Fuck, I don't know.
Ooh.
I know I smoked too much weed.
Hold on, but wait. I think it's 7-4, and that's the Jets record. So
is it?
It's the
I
thing.
don't know.
Yeah, this is a good season for the Jets.
It's a good season for both teams.
Yeah.
The Giants haven't done anything in a while either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just had to look it up. I was like, wait, I don't know.
7-4?
The Jets are 7-4, yeah.
The Giants are 7-4 too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Giants are 7-4 too, yeah.
So technically we are all winners.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. It's not like they're the Mets, Gigi.
Oh, why? What's the WWE question?
Let's talk about wrestling. Right?
Yeah.
Fucking guy.
You gotta break it up sometimes. You gotta get the Jazz where you can. What do you think of the WWE getting rid of the Money in the Bank and Hell in a Cell and replacing it with King of the Ring and Vengeance?
The King of the Ring should have never gone anywhere. King of the Ring was amazing. They're not getting rid of it altogether, just getting rid of the pay-per-view, right? The premium paid event or whatever it's called now.
I believe so. Yeah, they're talking about bringing the Money in the Bank back to the
there. It just won't be an event. So they're not really getting rid of it. They're repurposing it. It should have never been an event on its own anyway. I feel like it lost its luster once it wasn't part of WrestleMania, the Money in the Bank. It's a specialty match for what should be a mid-carder getting an opportunity to go to the next level. So it should be on a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam or Survivor Series or even a King of the Ring style event. Like I said, I love King of the Ring. They should have never gotten rid of it. Once it became a TV tournament, it didn't make sense to me. Again, it kind of lost its luster.
Yeah.
What's the other match? What was the other event?
He said the Hell in a Cell.
So I equate Hell in a Cell on mainstream wrestling to death matches on the indie scene. Like those things should be used as a blow off to a long-standing feud. That's how it makes sense because you have to go to this extreme to end the thing. So I don't mind it not being an event because if you're just having a bunch of matches in it doesn't. It loses its luster. It loses its meaning. It should be like, if Roman and Sammy battle for the next year and a half, 2 years, the blow off should be in a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. I think you got to evolve. You got to change with the times. I think them stopping it as an event and just using it strategically as a match at certain big time events makes all the sense in the world. And I'm all for the King of the Ring coming back as a pay-per-view. Yeah.
A one night tournament?
Yeah, one-night tournament.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
WrestleMania now is 2 days and there's 37 matches between each day, and you know what I'm saying? And then you have like 6 Pitbull concerts between them. Like, why can't you have a King of the Ring?
It's true.
A King of the Ring, fucking one-time event, like, and you could still mix it up. You could still have 8 people, which translates to 7 matches. You do, 3 matches. You got 10-match card. That's a 3-hour show. You can still get everything in. Every singles match doesn't have to be a 25-minute banger. It could be a 6-minute thing, bro. I loved, especially the way it built up to it. I love when it wasn't King of the Ring, but it was Survivor Series where fucking Boss Man runs in the ring, Rock rolls him up. It's just like you don't see that shit coming.
Yeah.
So those like out of nowhere matches are dope because it's like, oh, I'm intrigued now. You don't get the 6 minutes of teasing the finish and 7 minutes of finisher falsies and then the win. Like those.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't expect that to happen. Kind of thing. Those are great.
And also when you get the 2 people get disqualified, so the bad guy gets the bye, and it's like this
exactly.
Yeah.
They don't do that no more.
Yeah.
Bro, Savio Vega wrestled like 8 times in one night to try to get to be the King of the Ring. Like stuff like that is great. That's how you build. That's how you properly build those characters as those wrestlers.
Yeah, and we can get emotionally attached to them. I'm sorry, Gigi. Go ahead.
No, not for nothing. They really dropped the ball with Xavier.
Yes.
I would love to see them win it again, so we could like a proper King of the Ring run from Xavier Woods. I feel like we got the short end of the stick here.
Yeah.
Because like his whole character, right? So, it's just like I loved it, and I just feel like we get the full effect of it.
Yeah. So it'll probably be different now with H in charge, but what I've noticed is the E seems to be a few years behind putting the machine or putting the rocket ship to the back of somebody that should have been the person. So like everyone's in love with Sami Zayn. I put my pension on the line. You can go back to a Jobber Tears podcast interview I did 2 or 3 years ago where I said Sammy should have been the man then. What's everybody's complaint about Roman? They waited 4 or 5 years to make him this character so he could have been they take forever. So we could still get Xavier. It'll just be later on. And it just seems to be what they do. Like they drag their feet on putting putting the title on the person that it should be, or at least putting them in a position. For some reason, it's always a little later than it should be. But then once they do it right.
Yeah. So on this show, when Lay and Show are here, we do a thing where we book, the wrestlers. Like we'll book how Roman would lose the title, right? So me and Lay spoke about how taking Xavier Woods as King Woods and Kofi as the hand of the king and the way they were acting on they're pompous, they're like, oh, hail the king, putting him in a rivalry with Roman, right? And having him not win the title, but have a spot where Roman is taking out Xavier Woods. He's taking out Kofi. And now you bring in Big E, because I'm all behind Big E. I feel like Big E should be that next guy. If someone's going to take title from Roman, I want it to be Big E. You know what I'm saying? So we booked that whole thing where it'd be like the tag team of the New Day facing the Bloodline, and then Big E comes in Big Brother style
Yeah.
Now you got to pick up someone your own size.
Yeah. I think that's fire.
How would you book? Because I know you got Sammy, but how would you book Roman losing the title or just the Bloodlines feature?
I think that after Roman has just ran through everybody pretty much that's already on that level, it needs to be a situation where it's someone you don't necessarily think it would be. Someone out of left field, like Xavier Woods would be dope because you wouldn't see it coming.
Yeah.
But in this situation, in this current incarnation of the E, with the current roster they got, they'd have to change his name. But like, could you imagine if Pete Dunne turns on the Brawling Brutes and all of a sudden he's the fucking man? And it's simply because he's so ferocious he wouldn't stop. Like Roman keeps Superman punching him and he gets up and he's punching himself in the face. Like, you wouldn't see that coming. You wouldn't believe it. You would like, what the hell? Big E would work, but he's already been to the mountaintop. Cedric Alexander. Why isn't one of the best wrestlers in the world in a more prominent spot? Like, just
for years.
Just picture like they're in a match. It's a good match. It's not like holy crap match. It's a good match, but situation where the Bloodline tries to help Roman. They undo the second rope buckle. Roman goes to spear, leapfrog, hits the buckle, turn around, lumberjack. Boom! Crowd explodes. Why? Because it's not a 40-minute banger. In 10 to 12 minutes, a surprise victory just shocked the whole fucking world.
Yeah.
So like, I would give it to us. I'd give it to someone who hasn't been to the mountaintop and is definitely unexpected, but that can be a total workhorse so that they can put the more over guys in matches that would be amazing, but they don't have to be like these epic sagas because they know how to structure matches correctly so that everything they get within that 10 to 15-minute range is dope, but you can build story around that, which is what the Attitude Era was about. Like, you had these awesome mid-card matches, and then it led to what the main event was. And the WCW did it in reverse, where you didn't really know so much of the undercard, but those were the banger matches. And then like the main event, you're like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? So like, you have that kind of contrast where like the worker is now the man, but because the worker is the man, the spotlight is now on everybody to be a better worker.
No, yeah, seriously. And that's why my favorite era is the 80s, 90s era, around the Hogan Macho Man time, because you literally had an all-star team in the WWF.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
There's so many good ones.
Any of those guys who weren't like the top guy, who weren't in the Hogan position.
You had your Pipers. You had your Jake the Snake. Even Coco Beware was fucking exciting just to watch the fucking bird that he had. All those a little, weird, but continue.
You can plug those guys in now and they still be super over.
Yeah. No, that's
like, think of how dope would a match between Mr. Perfect and Baron Corbin be? Why? Because Perfect would do everything to make Corbin look like $1 million.
Yep.
How dope would it be to see like Steamboat versus oh my god, why can't I remember his name? Oh my gosh.
What does he look like?
He stopped being a ninja. He stopped being a ninja recently.
Oh, Tozawa?
Tozawa. Steamboat and Tozawa.
Like 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, he wrestled in the ninja suit again. Yeah.
He went back to that?
Yeah, to mess with Corbin. So I don't know if it was he's a ninja now or he wore the ninja suit to mess with Corbin. I don't know, but yeah.
But imagine Truth and DiBiase, Truth and IRS.
No, yeah.
Like those guys, those mid-level guys, those mid-card guys who could go in and out of the main event scene when you needed a sub,
Yep.
you plug them in right now and they wouldn't miss a beat.
No, it's true. So when the way you booked Cedric Alexander and Roman is kind of how I booked Willow and Jade. Like I said, Willow should take the TBS title from Jade.
I agree with
that
you.
way.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think
And-
like the baddies try to help and it backfires.
Yeah.
And again, you don't do it. It's not like a 40-minute banger so that like the crowd is on the edge of their seat expecting it. You hit that out of nowhere one. It's like because do you remember that feeling when 1, 2, 3 Kid beat Razor Ramon? You're like, oh shit, what the fuck just happened?
Yep.
You know, that feeling that you got when Jericho pinned Triple H in like 9 minutes. What the fuck? Like that is what's I feel like that's what's really missing from wrestling now. It's like, and it's great that you have these 40-minute matches. You're super intrigued, you're super into it, but like those spur of the moment wins out of nowhere, that's what made you like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah, because it's becoming predictable.
Yeah,
and when you make it unpredictable, that's when you go, wait, what are they gonna do now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of makes Sammy in the bloodline even more like special because you could see Sammy's just trying to break him. He's having fun out there.
Yeah,
he's just having the best time of his life right now.
Yep.
Right, he is, and I know from the bottom of my heart the way they do it, where it ends up being Roman and Sammy, isn't going to be the typical "I'm turning you against you." It's going to be they're going to make it so that it's all happenstance, and Sammy's just like, I didn't want to be here, but I'm here now, so I might as well. Like, and he's gonna flip it like he's like, listen, I'm not an oos, but I'm the most oosy person you know. You might as well wrestle me. You know, and then fucking Roman will crack. I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right.
And they have the potential. They have the potential to bring back that dynamic that Roman had with Jay when they was first starting the head of the table stuff. Because that Hell in a Cell match he had with Jay was I was crying.
And then like let's say it probably won't happen, but let's say Sammy does beat Roman. And Jay goes back on his book. I told you. Then Sammy drops it to Jay. Now Roman's like, yo, little bro is the man now. What the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And then now Jay literally lives up to the main event name. And you've built a main eventer from a tag team, all going way back years when his cousin was like, you got to step up. You ain't doing your shit right.
Yeah.
That's long-term storytelling that makes sense.
Yeah, and with Roman having the shorter schedule,
right?
He could, it's almost like you got it now, bro. Make the family proud, and boom, and that's where you could bring up also Xavier Woods because the Usos and the New Day have bangers,
right? Exactly.
And there's history there. And with the promo they had a couple weeks ago, talking about the pressure of us, we don't have our family in here. We had to do it ourselves, and then they were talking about, no, you know how hard it is to live up to our family, like
it's bro. And that was one of the best. That was one of the best comebacks on a promo ever because everyone says that, and it's like, it's the go-to, like, oh, you had family, but it's like, yo, do you know who my family is? It's not like my family was a jobber from 30 years ago, like yo,
the Brooklyn
Yoko, Umaga, you know what I'm saying? Alpha, like my family was the man's.
They were the pinnacle of the WWE success.
Bro, how many people were quick to write off Charlotte? Oh, she'd never live up to her dad.
Yeah, and
I can't. I said it. I want to see Charlotte back in the ring. I miss that dynamic of the queen that belongs in the women's division that is WWE. It just adds a little bit more to it. And she's a great wrestler. She's good. Overall performer, like standards between the mic skills, the in-ring skills, just the persona. She is and always will be a heel that fans will cheer and boo at the same fucking time.
Yeah,
no matter what.
I personally like her work better in NXT than on the main roster because like me personally, I feel like her timing with some of the women on there besides Sasha or Bailey is a little awkward.
Are you so? I've always had this train of thought when it comes to the difference between them working NXT and them working WWE. Are
Yeah.
you a fight fan?
What do you,
Pro fight, like
MMA?
MMA or boxing?
Yes.
Okay. We all know there's a difference between Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather and
And
Money
money.
Mayweather.
Yeah.
We all know that there was a difference between Jake Shields trying to be UFC middleweight champion or welterweight, I forgot what title, and then
Yeah.
him being champion. The same with GSP.
Yeah.
The same with oh my God, Anderson Silva. Like when
Yeah.
you're on the come up, you're looking to win. Once you've won, you're looking to stay. So that it changes. It
No,
changes.
yeah.
Even in rap, like Hungry 50 Cents would eat almost anybody alive.
Yeah.
But 50 Cents with the millions is like, I'm a rap for fun.
No, yeah.
It's a change of pace. And
I
even with her being in that position where she is top dog and she's still having matches that are good, but to remain there because she's not on the climb, it's still better than so many other women. So I totally agree. Charlotte being back, but I think she's had like the Ric Flair career, but like fast forwarded all
Yes.
the title reigns. I think she's already at the spot where she doesn't have to be the woman, but she can help put other women on top.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which, I mean, at this point, she is the like because I would say like the backbone right now would be Bailey. You know, and Bianca Belair is working her way up there because for some reason, like even during the pandemic era, like I felt like Bailey like put in that work to make
Bailey and
like at
Sasha
least
definitely in
the
the work during the pandemic.
yeah, but
Just bounce off of each other.
with Sasha leaving so many times, it's like, you know, I can give her credit for it, but it's like she's always leaving. It's like somebody that's like, yo, he does the same amount of work you do in 2 hours, so he leaves, but you stay there all day. Like you see the guy that's there all day. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like what Bailey did in the War Games match. I don't know if you saw it, but some of the decisions she made in that match, I was like, yo, she's utilizing what's in this cage, how the cage works, like pinning Bianca Belair in between the two posts with the table. I was like, yo, this is I'm like, yo, she's doing something original. She's not just being in two rings trying to figure out what to do. It's like she knew, like she did her homework. She's like, I could do this here, I could do that here. You know what I'm saying? So Charlotte became the top girl, the top woman in the women's division. But I feel like if Bailey be like the Macho Man, if we're gonna give him ranks.
Yeah, I can see that parallel for sure.
You know?
I mean, she got the elbow drop, so
yeah.
Was there another WWE question, or was that
it? He asked the question, and I don't know how to phrase it because it was one of those questions that went all over the place. All right, so he was talking about how what do you guys think about WWE production being goofy and needing more edge and ruthlessness to it? I feel like the Undertaker was right about the locker room.
I'm not gonna lie. I like goofy wrestling sometimes, and I think it's just because it just makes me feel good on the inside. Not too much of it though, but there's certain things to it that just I don't know. I'm just like I'm okay with it, but when it's just like it's over the top is where I lose complete interest.
There's obviously a place for it. I think it's different with the E because they're a publicly traded company. They are looking to cater to children. So there's only so much over the top, straight up ruthlessness and violence you can sell. Because even the kids nowadays aren't the way we were when we were growing up. We were a lot more mature now. And I honestly, I think in that aspect, it's good. Like, a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old girl should be that. Yes. It shouldn't be a rush to to make them super mature, and anything you can do to keep that the way it is, that it's because everybody needs to really experience their childhood. Everybody doesn't have to grow up rough. So with them, it's different. Like that's what we want because that's what we grew up with. But we're not the same generation as the generation there is now. And as much as it sucks to say, like, yes, I would love a TV4 product. I would love a TV14 product, a more mature product. But bills to pay, like, yeah, I'll get merch or whatever, the case may be. But like, if my child says, "Yo, I want a Sasha Banks doll," actually, I want all of them and the title belt. Like, all right, I'm gonna make my baby girl happy. So, are you playing to my pockets, or are you playing to her so she can play my pockets?
Yeah,
it's different. It's different. They have been better with sprinkling it in where it can work, like the War Games kind of matches, like those random over the top super violent Brock matches. So it doesn't have to be across the board. It can be sprinkled in like they're doing. Could you see a little bit more of it? Sure, but understand, if you're going to get more over the top ruthless and violence, you're also going to get more of the childish thing. They might start whole new programming to put that goofiness out. So
yeah,
you got to take the good with the bad. Just because you don't like it, you get the Hogan example. He wasn't the best wrestler, but he sold the most tickets. They're gonna do what profits them the most, whether you like it or not. But they'll do it strategically in a way where they'll keep you around because they're gonna give you enough of, oh shit, that's what I want to see.
Yeah. I don't mind it as long as these people are being like their natural selves. I don't like things that are forced. Like Dana Brooke being the 24/7 champion felt forced, but Tamina being around that with Tozawa, that was 100% bullshit.
Yeah.
But that was so. I was like, "Yo, Tamina is my girl right now." Like for some reason, I just I was like, "Yo, she's doing her thing," and it's it's a segment of her getting married. And,
let's do it.
Yeah,
and
like that's what I want to see.
And on top of that whole segment where we're having a double wedding. Nah, fuck this. I'm gonna take him. No, I'm gonna take her. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna take her too. Over there. I'm gonna marry this bitch. What's up, Dana? How you doing? And it was goofy. It was dumb. It was just kind of like a breather as well. It was like, we know this shit is not really supposed to be taken serious, but we appreciate the effort that they are trying to make here to make it pretty good on the inside, When Fandango came out for the first time. Just a song.
If
boom,
you're in need, right. If you're in need of a more like adult and ruthless kind of product, you go to your local indie that provides that. Go, I feel like Impact has done a better job of being a bit more serious lately. I feel like AEW is the platform on the mainstream circuit where you get that over the top violence. Like, don't look for it in the WWE. Like, you'll know when you're gonna see it. They'll advertise it as such. But like, if that's what you're looking for, you have to find that. Like, it's out there. You just got to look for it. It's out there. If you want like ultra violent stuff, you got the GCWs out there. Like, you have those, ICWs, VXS, like those over the top violent stuff. It's out there. It might not be what you're used to or accustomed seeing, but like, it's there. You just got to look for it.
Do you think that speaking about the Undertaker, you think that people like today are conceding more to the ideas that they're being thrown than they were back in the day, where they're like, "Nah, I'm not doing this shit. I don't care," and that's what's making things a little difficult for them, or is it just like, it's hard to do new shit?
I think it's a little bit of that. I think a lot of people just want to get their foot in the door. I don't think everybody can make it work. Like, I don't think everybody's a Cody Rhodes or a Sami Zayn who's like, here's this and just make it work. But I think that plays a part. Definitely plays a part where, like, hey, this is what we have for you, and you want to believe in yourself as a performer to the point where, you know what, I'll make it work. And sometimes it's too hard. Sometimes it really is just too hard. I I I, I can't say for certain. I just know that like if your dream job comes knocking and there's a caveat, are you gonna let that stand in the way of accomplishing your dream job? Or you can and you know there's it's very 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 honorable to be like, you know what, I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet. Yes, my dream job's knocking, but I know I'm not going to want to do what they have for me, so let me continue to solidify myself as a performer so that when they come back to negotiate with me, it's under my terms. So you
Yeah.
run the risk, because in this business it's so physical. You don't know if you have another 5 years in you. You don't. God forbid something happens and it could be catastrophic. Or you could, you could run the risk of never getting that opportunity to sign again. And you've gone 10 years. It's so fickle. So some people just would rather just sign and do their best to try to make it work. And, unfortunately, it doesn't sometimes. Sometimes it does. It's all about effort.
Yeah.
What you can say if you do get signed and it doesn't turn out is, I got signed. I got there, but now I know who I am as a performer, and if I want to continue my journey on the independent scene, or in Japan or overseas somewhere else, I know exactly what it is I can and can't say no. And having been signed, I have the power to deny anyone requests that I feel aren't suitable for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you bring up a good point with that. If you get your dream job, but there's a caveat, and it's one of those, like, you're gonna make it work, but you have to put just as much effort in to make that work as you would
Yeah.
in yourself if you denied it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so I get it, but I feel like the whole Thunder Rosa thing. When she won the AEW title, they stuck a microphone in her face and said, "Go ahead, talk." And I was like, she never spoke. Like,
Yeah.
in AEW, she never spoke. And me and Gigi had this conversation before. I was like, why
Mhm.
wouldn't you make some like vignettes? Have her speak in the back and do some NWO shit if she can't. Like, Hogan ruined those shots and they just cut around them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like,
Yeah.
work with her.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Thunder Rosa, uh, it could have been. I feel like she's just more natural when it comes to like Spanish speaking.
Yeah.
So it could have been vignettes that were like she just cutting the promo in Spanish, and if you didn't understand Spanish, you read the subtitles.
Yes.
It it
Yep.
it would have been dope. It would have been different,
Yep.
you know. That's as much as I'll say on that, because I don't think AEW does women's wrestling as great as it could. I think they have the roster to do it, but I don't
Yes.
think they do it. They do it really well.
I agree.
Yeah.
They have a
'Cause
strong
they
roster. Like,
Definitely have the talent.
Yeah.
they have the talent. They just don't know what story to write for them, and it's getting up to the point where now just kind of doing what WWE is, just kind of stick anybody in a tag team
Yep.
that doesn't make sense, or are we getting tag team to, like, what are we doing?
Right.
And
They-
we're not, and if it's not like a regular tag team, it's a 6-man or an 8-man type shit, and
Yeah.
it's like we're just adding. So
I
I
think
watch all the time. So it's like when I'm watching these matches, it's like the first match 1-on-1, the next match 2-on-2, the next match 4-on-4, the next match
yeah.
8-on-8, and I'm like, whoa, when the fuck did we started multiplying in all this shit? Like, what? Where's the math? What are
I
we
think,
doing here?
yeah, I agree. I think with AEW there should be a lot of reconfiguring of what it is they do. But right now I think what what I would love more than anything is like, don't mess Willow up. Like,
Yeah.
Word.
she can being you get that wonderful dichotomy, being absolutely opposite of what Jade is, can be
Yep.
your top
Yeah.
female star.
She has
Absolutely.
this like energy around her that is just
Oh my
it's
goodness.
captivating.
Yes.
I saw her walk out with Tony Storm. It was a 3-on-3 match, and she walked out with Tony Storm and she bumped into her and she like turned around, was like, "Oh, my bad." And the way she did it, it was like, I know this was a mistake, But that was kind of awesome because usually
Yeah.
they'll bump and just keep. But she did the, oh, I'm sorry, you know, I'm just here, you know, doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
There's
yeah,
Like her genuine
with,
moment, like right there, like, oh
yeah,
shit, my bad.
right.
Didn't need to.
yeah,
Like,
With Willow, it's just this unbelievable star power. Like she glows.
yes,
She glows.
it's a shadow aura, it's a glowing aura
Exactly.
around her
You
at
can
all
literally see
times.
her energy and see
yes,
nobody else.
Absolutely.
And Willow was in the first ever match of the first ever all women's card in Battle Club.
nice,
Yep.
nice. See, history. Like this is what I was talking about. Like, bro, you have to be living on a high sometimes when you think about stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's wonderful to see. It's wonderful
Yeah,
to see. And yeah, that's my thing right now. Is just don't fumble her. Just don't fumble her.
yeah,
That's it.
no,
Like
it's true.
you
I,
you literally had
yeah,
everything
yeah,
in her, and it's totally opposite of Jade. So
yep,
you don't have to bury Jade or put her on the back burner. They can absolutely coexist because they're so different.
yes, yeah.
Mhm.
And I think they got spoiled when Britt Baker got hurt and she was cutting those promos. It was because she made the best out of her situation. So
Yep.
basically, every person else that's supposed to be coming up next, shove a mic in their face, do what she did, and that's not how you let someone shine. Because Tony Storm, like Gigi pointed out all the time, how the hell does Tony Storm win the interim title and now she's a tag team? Like, what the fuck? Why is the champion in a tag team match? Like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't build up anybody to wrestle her, and now
You're not building up
you
story. There was no real
yeah,
story.
you
It's like
wasted her. You wasted her title run. You know?
I thought we had ratings. What happened?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
at the end of the day, now that we have Jamie here as a champion, and there's no more interim. Okay, we're done with that. She is the champion, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. We saw Ruby Soho come back, and
what?
that's going to be
Yesterday?
fun. I
They've
believe
got
so.
their roster is unreal.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
just have to do it. There's no reason. What do they have? So it's Dynamite, Rampage, Dark, and Dark Elevation, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You've got 4 products. Why isn't one an all women's one? So you can stop with the 3-minute women's matches.
Yeah.
Why isn't at least one an all women's match, all women's card? Why
Mhm.
why do you have to fit 15 matches in an hour? How does that make sense? Your
No,
your
it's true.
your roster is so abundant. Like, yeah, you don't want to have to do the thing where you copy the WWE and have 2 different rosters, but it's so vast. You absolutely should have 2 exclusive rosters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. TK, if
Nope.
you want some pointers, hit me up. But
Seriously. So.
He needs to stop yelling at us. I don't appreciate
Yeah.
him yelling at us every time we go to
Yo.
a fucking show. You
He
know, people gotta
he
adult the next day, and
he comes out on Dynamite on some. I don't know who the fuck are you. I'm like, yo, bro, take it easy, bro. We're gonna be here for 7 hours, my nigga. You don't need to scream at us in the beginning. Like, come on, son. It's like it was cool the first time. We've been here before.
Is there any other questions? Because I gotta close up shop.
Oh,
all right. So go ahead and do your thing. No more questions, but we appreciate you coming on, joining us, and everything like that. If you want to go ahead and have the big screen, plug everything that you got, your social and stuff like that. Go ahead and do your thing. Bro.
Battle Club Pro, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. There's some exciting stuff coming up next year. We're gonna be announcing that really soon. But Inferno Fight Club and Fallout Shelter are doing a joint show at Ridgefield Park on December 30th. The first Battle Club Pro show is going to be January 21st in Brooklyn. I tried my best to secure a spot in the Bronx. It just didn't happen. I guess the universe is like, no, hold off for now. But it's going to be in Brooklyn. You know, like I said, Wilkins and Simon and Pena and Carter, Matt's going to be making his debut. We're going to have the tag title defenses, battleweight title defenses, just a whole bunch of wonderful stuff coming up. Please follow it, all the kids from the Fallout. Follow the Fallout Shelter. Follow Battle Club Pro. Support our sponsors: Title Match, Jobber Tears, GG, Knuckleheads, Pretty Heels, Dirty Heels. Everyone that shows us love. Henny Wrestling, like. We don't exist without you guys. We don't exist without the wrestlers. We don't exist without the sponsors, the fans. So we genuine love and appreciation. Let's, hopefully your holidays are amazing and you have wonderful, wonderful time with your family and your friends. And, everyone says next year is my year, but let's really put our best foot forward for that to be the case. And yeah, if you just want some wonderful entertainment, like come on out. If for some reason you want to hit me up and you're not a wrestler, you just have questions or whatever inquiries, you send my way. I'm weird. I have my real name on everything, Joe Kim Morales. If you want to be a wrestler, come train at the Fallout Shelter. If you just want to come to, just observe and learn, like I'm open. There's 1.5 million wrestlers who've reached out for opportunities, and I'm working towards it. COVID really screwed everybody up, but it's going to be happening. So once again, December 30th, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, IFC and Fallout. January 21st, Battle Club Pro. Welcome to New York City 2. And yeah, just thank you all for the support. Thank you so much for having me on. It means the world to me. I love the dynamic here. I love you guys supporting us. It's always great. I know, when I see the big smiles on your guys' faces, it's like, all right, I'm doing something right. I guess I'm doing something right. But I appreciate you guys. It means the world. And, I've said this to Jobber Tears. I said this to Go for the Pin. Like, it's wonderful to see people like us doing wonderful things. And it, like, it's dope to have this dynamic, this duo, this triumvirate, this 5 people, whatever the case may be on this Knuckleheads. Like our people doing content for us is wonderful. And there needs to be more of it, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It warms my heart, it really does. As much fun as we had here, it's dope to see that there are avenues for us to succeed without having to, be force-fed or to deal with shit that we don't want to deal with or just do what they tell us to do. No, it's like we're creating our own lane, DIY, do it yourself, do it from heart. That's what it is to be a minority, Black, brown, Latino, African American, Hispanic, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. It's from the heart. It's our own fucking flesh and blood, sweat, and tears. Like, you guys are dope.
Hey, man.
We appreciate that, and we appreciate you coming on. We really do. This is so fucking awesome.
Definitely. Yo, you are more than welcome to come on anytime you want.
Word.
You're officially family now because we was able to fight over John Cena and Hogan.
Yo, man. Especially the beginning of this show. I thought he was gone.
Yeah, seriously. And before you got here, Gigi, he said he was gonna hook me up with Sasha, so don't worry about that. I know she wanted to ask you. Look at her face. You see? I gotta do it at least once a week, keep the blood flowing, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely appreciate your time, appreciate you being here as long as you have been. Definitely want to have you back.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Have a good night, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night,
you
Joe.
too, brother. Thank you.
Bye. Awesome. So that was Joe Kim Morales, you guys. You can follow his link. It's in the chat. Go ahead and check it out. You can definitely find him on my page. You can find him on Toes. He's just so dope. Battle Club Pro, Fallout Shelter. Just follow them. And if you love wrestling, trust me when I tell you this, those like his product and like what they do is just a show is just absolutely amazing, and you would definitely have a really great time.
No, yeah, definitely. And it's like even after the show, just standing around and the rest come out, you get to speak to them and all that.
Just staying there like, hey guys, match. That was pretty fucking cool. Why, thank you. No, thank you. It's just an overall great feeling. And it's just it really just warms your heart that the fact that these people who are literally putting their bodies on the line just to put on a smile on our faces just means the absolute world to them. And the fact that, we're actually telling them, yo, this shit was dope.
Yeah.
It builds so much to their confidence and just it helps the like mental of the
Yeah,
whole just putting your body through this shit because it's something that we love to do, see, watch, and be a part of.
yeah,
Nice
definitely.
little wrestling community.
Word. And it's a totally different feeling than if you went to like a WWE or AEW event. It's
Oh,
like
absolutely.
they're like concerts, but this one is like a almost like a personal. You're part of the show, and
Yeah,
it's just a way better feeling. You know, like it's
it's
fucking
something to
awesome.
definitely it's something that you guys need to experience if you have never experienced.
Yeah, word,
You'll appreciate wrestling more as wrestling instead of like sports entertainment type shit.
word.
You know,
And with
there's
the
nothing
with
wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the entertainment aspect of it, but we all know it kind of like means like the really dumb, goofy shit. Like, come on, y'all.
yeah,
This don't make no
yeah,
goddamn sense. Why are we doing? Why are we wasting our time with this?
word. Why is
Oh,
Bobby Lashley in a wig right now?
oh, commercial break. Oh,
Yeah,
cool. There's fighters in the ring. Oh, we're gonna do a promo before getting to the match. Which, what the fuck have they've been doing that lately? Because I don't understand how in WWE we go to the ring, right? We
yep,
go to commercial break. Both wrestlers are in the ring. We're gonna start this match right afterwards. And then we're gonna go to a back segment that's supposedly live at the moment it happening. And then 2 minutes later from that, oh hey, by the way, these two guys has been standing in the ring. Ding ding ding, ring the bell. So you mean to tell me that whole time they've just been standing there like lollygagging, just like
yeah, word. It's almost like yo, get them out to the ring as quickly as possible. We got to go to commercial, and then we're gonna talk for 12 minutes. Oh shit, they're still in the ring. Well, might as well have a match. Go to commercial while they're having the match. By the way, these motherfuckers.
word, word. And then you start the match. You have about like 90 seconds before we go to the next commercial break.
Yep,
Somebody, and you can always tell because somebody's gonna get thrown out of the ring.
yep, and then they zoom in on him. Will he be okay after the break? It's like what? Like that's all they need is just that little voiceover. You know, will Tozawa be able to withstand the punishment of Bobby Lashley? Tune in after the break.
Wait, ready? Then right before commercial break. One. Come back on commercial break. Two.
Word. That's why I always thought when they went to commercial, they stopped wrestling. I always thought that shit. Like they just stopped wrestling. It was like, yo, we're coming back 5 seconds.
Oh
All right, let's
shit.
go again. Word. What's going
I
on, Krills?
sometimes what's up, girls? And sometimes you can tell because they'll just stay on the outside and not really do anything. They'll just like kick. Oh, I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna roll
Yeah.
this way. That one hit sent me flying to the other side. We're just gonna utilize the ring. Oh
Word.
man. Oh shit.
But
AEW Dynamite was pretty good.
I didn't get a chance to watch that. I saw the if you want to call it the belt unveiling, I saw that and I was like, oh, we're in the WWE era of AEW, huh? You know,
I mean,
I'm starting to get a little fucking tired of uh MJF always name dropping the WWF people. It's like you Rob Van Dam now. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here, bro? You,
that is interesting. I don't know. I don't know whether it's supposed to meant to be like a booyah to Tony Khan or just to kind of like, hey, I'm going to be around. It's weird because
yeah,
everything's work, right? Everything's a work. We're all getting worked.
yeah,
Um, when he said it when the contract war starts to happen, his main focus is when his contract ends and to pay more money.
Yeah, but that means he has to do something with this title. You know what I'm saying?
Is
Because
it,
if he flops,
he does. He needs to. It would be
yeah,
nice. Question is, who do we got right now? Who's the next person
in AEW,
to go against? Yeah, MJF.
Ricky
Who
Starks, I think right now is the next guy, right?
is it?
Yeah, I think he
I
won the
think so.
tournament.
Oh, that's right. Ricky
Yeah,
Starks is not going to go over, but not right
but
now. We're
I was,
in an MJF ring.
yeah, I was talking to Pro and Hazel yesterday while they were doing the watch along, and I was saying
Uh-huh.
that we know he's not going over against MJF, but this is
Right.
almost like an audition to show that he's one of the top guys. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
but like they have to show it though. Like a lot of the times they're like, "Oh, he's the top guy," and then they'll just fucking shit the bed and be like, "Well, we said he's the top guy, so he's the top guy. I don't give a shit." You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to prove it.
You know what? I just want him to have a good wrestling match because that's all I can want hope for. I
Yeah,
don't want it to be a squat match. Like, it's
yeah,
give me moments where um I'm gonna feel like Ricky Starks, holy shit, he's gonna win. Even though I know in the back of my mind, but just give me that one moment where I'll be like, wait, is this happening? Is this really happening?
yeah. Like how they did the trios match, the three way match with Omega, Orange Cassidy, and Pac. Like every single person in that match had them all like, "Wait, is Orange Cassidy about to win this?" Like that was
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Ricky Starks, do something like that, but they have to capitalize on that also because after that triple threat match, it was like they said, "All right, Pat, go travel the world in Orange. You're now gonna fight Jericho." It's like, what? Why is
Yeah.
why is this going on here? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm
Well, I know that we had Willow Nightingale versus Anna JAS, right? And Willow
yeah,
Nightingale actually won. And that's when Ruby Soho came back out,
okay,
and then she started beating up Ty Mello and Anna Jay. That's how we got her back. Sorry,
okay,
that now the weed is like kind of working in my favor.
yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
Here goes the ticker.
Nah, I hear you. Yeah,
But nonetheless, it was a moment, and then Ruby Soho was just pretty much on the ramp with Emma. She grabbed her head, looked very awkward in a way, but then she like just kind of kissed her forehead, like, "Hey, I'm back. Okay, drop
yeah.
your head down," and then big, and rightfully so. Um, we need to do something with them women.
No, yeah,
I don't know whether it's another title. Do we need another title? And what other title are we going to get? You know,
yeah,
what significant meaning would it have to add another title if we're not? I mean, we have Jade, right?
yeah.
And now we have Jamie Hayter. I think with all the women that they have on the roster, they have a strong roster. Create a women's tag team division.
They have enough women for it.
You have Penelope Ford and the Bunny.
Yep,
They're coming out together.
yep.
Um,
You can have any two of the three with Britt Baker, Hater, and Reba.
you can actually have
Rebel.
Britt Baker with Rebel
Yeah.
as a tag team.
Yep.
You can put
The
the
baddies.
baddies. Yep,
Yep.
that's a tag team.
Yeah. You can
Depending
have Ty
on
Mello.
yep, or even better, right? Now we have a storyline where we eliminated one of the baddies, right? So how about we create a story? Uh, if Willow's not going to be the one that's going to be taking down Jade for her title. Willow ends up, being with Carrie Hogan. Oh my god! Yeah, I read something about that. Have you seen like the news about this?
No.
Cocaine Bear. It's a show I think on Netflix maybe. Where it's the real life story of a fucking bear who consumed a shit ton of fucking cocaine.
Oh
And went
shit.
on the killing rampage.
Oh
He
shit.
went
And I didn't.
the fucking bear with Tony Montana on a whole bunch of white people.
Oh shit.
Niggas that go camping, that's upstairs in the woods. Y'all be careful. Some
Word.
fucking bear.
Word.
Fucking Tony Montana about to come after nowhere. But we all know how that ends, so don't worry. You gotta just make sure you stick it to the end. Just saying.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, there's this fucking show. I briefly saw a preview of it, and all I saw was the bear snatching up mad people, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I read the description, and I just couldn't stop laughing. Eric Young is done with Impact. Head back to Hunter Sanity Return. That would be cool.
I mean, they do
You
have
have
Nikki
Nikki.
Cross. Like,
The question is that are we introducing Nikki Cross to bring back Alexa from for the Wyatt Six? Excuse me, for the Wyatt Six, because on Raw we had Alexa.
zoned out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, great choice by the captain. And we've
Yeah.
seen this behavior before.
Yep.
So does Uncle Howdy come to her? Because that's what I feel like. Because Uncle Howdy right now is the main character of this Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
So do we get him to fucking get her, or do we send Nikki Cross? Remember that
He
time where
could.
Nikki Cross sent that message to Aleister Black, and it was basically saying that he's summoned, and it was about I think Bray Wyatt, if I'm not mistaken, in
I
NXT.
No, I don't remember that. That NXT I wasn't really watching like that.
I believe so. If I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken.
Yeah, Ruby and Willow Nightingale could be a team also.
Yep.
Oh, Nyla Rose and Mariah Schaefer. Schaefer.
Oh wow. I'm sorry. I dropped my cup.
Nah, yeah.
Um,
No, it's true. They have a
Marina
plethora
Shafir.
of women. Yeah, they have a plethora of women. But I would love to see that storyline that doesn't need a title. Like the Bret Hart and Owen Hart storyline. Like if Ty Mello
Like
and
to build
NJ
a
started,
rivalry,
yeah, like
like a heated rivalry without a
yeah,
title.
yeah, like something that can organically be built and just put on the side, and we're watching that now. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's like when you just have the champion wrestling and then people competing for the title, it's like this isn't really a division. This is just like you just have a fucking merry-go-round of people, and then we're gonna just change the title every once in a while. You have to have a whole group of these of matches with these women, like what Joe said. He told me how to pronounce his name, but for some reason my brain erases names. Like Joe said, if you had a whole show just for women, it would make that even better, because now at least you have you have interactions with them that you can build storylines with, and they could be outside of this, and you can build them outside of a title, and then they can gradually come into a title. But it's hard when you have 1-2 matches for women, and then the rest of the 87 matches are just guys. And most of the time, those matches are just inconsequential.
Yeah, but at the same time, it gives them something to fight for, and it kind of adds a little bit more dimension. Um, and I think like for the initial type thing, it should be like a tournament of different matches to see which team would basically be it. And then I think creating that would add story, would add character, would add a kind of like we're on their journey because
Yeah.
it gives them something new. And now we're getting to know, yeah, we know these women, right? But now we're going to find out a little bit more about the story. Like these two women have been best friends, they've been doing the tag team for this long, yada, yada, yada. And then, I mean, eventually it's going to come to that because you have many groups of women together that for you not
Yeah.
to have that and not to utilize that would be a missed opportunity.
No, yeah.
And granted, even when they have women's titles like WD, it's still considered sometimes as a missed opportunity. But at least we took the opportunity in the first place to actually, hey, we have women's tag team titles. Like
Yeah.
you
They
can take
can
that
do something
opportunity,
with them.
do something with it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Oh, I fucking broke my fidget thing. Oh, I can stretch it out now. It's not the same. I'm gonna go back to my elephant, my little stretchy elephant. This is all I do. I talk and I play with these little fidget things, and now I broke.
Damn.
We'll put it back together.
Yeah,
My
it should work.
OCD, y'all. No, it's going to. You just gotta put it in the hole.
That's it. Shit. Yeah, so we didn't get a chance to. What did you think of War Games?
So I have my pros and my cons about it. I appreciate the effort that we put in to women's war games. Um, was every spot good? No. But did they try to utilize it as much as they can? Yeah, I believe so. I also feel that as the years progress, war games for the women's event would be better. I think because before we had was NXT. So we all know what NXT feels like, war games, and it's just NXT overall is just a different atmosphere. For it to be on a main card, Survivor Series. First and foremost, War Games as Survivor Series, I think it just elevates Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Yes, we had SmackDown versus Raw versus NXT, but it's like we've been getting that for so long that to put something that you actually have to survive in War Games kind of adds to the overall of elevating Survivor Series. Okay, nobody's really going to survive after. Let's make them survive.
Yeah.
You know, um, the men's war games. I think it told such a great story. Like, I'm not crying, you're crying. Okay,
Yeah. No, yeah.
'cause we the ones. We the ones.
We the
We the
ones.
ones. We the
No,
ones.
it's true. Yo, just Roman holding Jimmy back going, you go. That was one of those, okay. He really is gonna test Sammy right now. He gonna test Sammy. Let's go. Come on, Sammy. And then you pull up for Sammy, like, come on. Don't turn on him. Don't turn on him. You a oos. Come on, oos.
Word.
That was dope. That was dope. I do wish it would have been against the Hurt Business.
Well, you know what? We're gonna. I think it's been been said that, Bobby Lashley is definitely always trying to fight for that to get the Hurt Business coming back. Because it really was a great stable.
Yeah.
And I think that even if we were to add more to the stable, you're adding more to the bloodline. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Why not add more? See where it takes us.
No, it's
Instead
true.
of the regular trio.
Because you need, like, the Four Horsemen had Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like, they needed that opposition, and the Bloodline really don't have much opposition. But a Hurt Business would have been an amazing opposition, especially if you're just gonna put the match together within like weeks of the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let's kind of talk about some rumors we see swimming around the internet. Just to throw it out there, right? And work with, maybe not work with. The Rock talks about him being coming back at Royal Rumble. Other talks. Solo Sikoa would be the one to turn on the bloodline. And then with little actions of him not throwing up the one.
Yeah. I
And
can
he
see
was
that.
sent
But
there
what if,
by the elders.
yeah.
I read that.
What
Solo Sikoa was sent by the elders.
what
And
if
the elders is the Rock.
well, what if he's the one that kicks out Sammy and the Usos?
I think he would turn on his brother before he turns on Sammy.
So you think
Unless
they're
he,
gonna kick out the
imagine if he could, well, that would be fun. There's so much you can kind of run with this. And I
Yeah.
just find it so funny. One, you can kick Sammy in the face, and then you have Jey Uso defending his undying love. For Sammy's sake. Why you do that to Uso? Dad? Who's one of us? It's fun, man. That nigga would have fucking cried. And they would have cried like the Big Show crying. Why are you doing that?
Word.
Oh
I
man.
finally started to like this motherfucker.
Yeah, he didn't put that's what I'm saying. So Sikoa didn't put any of the ones up.
Yeah.
He was just that's it. But let's see. I mean, there's some talks, that I've read thus far. You know what I really kind of miss, and I was thinking about that the other day. I was definitely thinking about Rick Books basically coming back because I think to have Nakamura have like a little bit of a pop, and Nakamura will always have a pop, right? His name
Yeah.
alone. Um, but to have Rick Books come back, especially after that injury that he took opening up WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like I need a redemption from him.
Seriously.
And I want him to play his guitar and be like, let's fucking go. But I also want him to turn his back on Shinsuke for never visiting him. He was injured.
Word. Yeah, yeah. You know, like it's because of you that I got injured or some shit, you know? I could definitely see that.
Listen, that's another thing. Randy's not coming back anytime soon. And I don't see Randy coming back for more than a year or two. And I'm gonna be so like, I think we are not getting the Viper for at least solid 2 years.
Yeah, they're saying he might even retire.
Yeah, like that's how bad it was.
How did he hurt his back? It's just accumulation or something happened?
I think it might have been like accumulation after a while. And then like maybe a match he had was like what broke the camel's back, and had him go and check it out and realize, oh shit, we gotta get this done. But he injured his back, I believe, during a match, a house show, and then he just went to go get it checked out, and that's when everything just kind of like all news came out about his back.
And then they said, "Yo, Riddle, can you be Randy?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can be Randy."
Riddle, my God, they don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, they don't.
It's so sad.
You would have thought him winning that fucking fight pit match would have pushed his career, but it didn't.
Something.
Yeah.
But it did nothing. All right, you're not gonna put Riddle in a match with Gunther. All right, no. Him as a tag team with Elias, that's another one. You don't know what you're gonna do with Elias. I think Elias needs to break away and go for the IC title. I think him and Gunther would be better than Matt Riddle. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know, because Gunther is the champ, and I'm just like, wait, what other champions are out there?
Yeah, Theory. But
Theory's not gonna get let go of that shit anytime soon.
He better not.
No.
It's almost like he said, "Fuck it, I'll give up the Money in the Bank. Just make me United States champion again."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw a little bit of the Moxie and Hangman. I don't care for it. I don't really care for it. Yeah, when I saw it, I just saw them fighting, and I was like,
I think I want one more match just to kind of make up for the last one. Not to say so much. I think Hangman needs this more, obviously, for if it's not for himself, for the story purpose, because it ended, you know, pretty much on the spot, like because he couldn't go. And I feel like, you know, if you were to be put in, like, put yourself in his shoes, he's like, nah, I didn't want the shit to end this way. I want to run that back.
Yep.
We were doing something good here. And it was a really good match. You know, the story didn't, we didn't care too much for it, but when they actually fought in the ring, it was a decent match. It was good. You know, Moxley's great at putting people over. Hangman's great putting at people over. You know, it was just a rough match. But then that clothesline, that lariat, this just completely sent them. So if you were to put yourself in Hangman's Adam, she's going to run that back, because he's going to be like, even if he wins, I want to be able to do that match the way it was supposed to be done.
Yeah.
And then you know what? They're going to run it back. And they're going to do that buckshot lariat again. And then they are going to run that spot where he was down for a minute. And they're going to be like, oh my God, are we doing this again? Did this happen again? And obviously we see him get up. And then that's when the fans start being like, oh my God. And it's kind of like a redemption story for Hangman. And even if you were to take the L, it's more like for himself, because nobody wants to go out like that.
No, yeah. I hear you.
So I would see it again. I wouldn't mind it. So we can see like a real beginning and end to the story.
Yeah.
And then we put it to rest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not the biggest Hangman and Moxie fan to begin with. That's why I'm like, you know, to me, because I didn't know why they were fighting. I just saw them fighting in the back, and I'm like, ain't Moxie ever gonna go on that vacation he was talking about? That's the only thing went through my mind.
He can't.
Yeah, yeah.
He can't. You want to know what he can't?
His wife is the new employee.
Position. She just got there. All right, we are right now on our 90 days probation. in, all right, just to see
Word.
how
Yeah.
no clouds, no nothing, like
Not for real. Yo,
no
show.
PTO days.
Word.
Oh man,
Yo, the interview went great. Gigi started a fight between me and him, but
I
we
did not
resolved it.
start a fight.
Everyone agreed.
He started
Everyone
his own
agreed I was
fight.
right. Everyone agreed I was right.
He
He offered
attacked him
the
as soon as he got on the fucking air for 20 minutes. You fucking attacked our guest for 20 plus fucking minutes instantly as soon as he got. Wait, before we start this, I need to know Hogan or Cena. I was like, you motherfucker. And it was like a whole fucking 20-minute shit. And I was like, this is unbelievable. This is how we're going to fucking do this shit. This is why people will probably never come back onto this show. But
Yep.
it was not cool. And he definitely, would love to come back. We would love to have him back. And, maybe show, you can show up.
Word.
We're not asking you to be on time, but I was on time today, sir.
She
All
was.
right,
She was.
let's think about this. All right, I stretched it
Yeah.
out.
You know.
Man, it was longer. I'm sorry.
You know what it was? We started the intro ended and I said,
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
you know what I'm saying? That's it. That's what happened. Don't
sweat the technique.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
No, but hey, listen,
Hulk
man.
Hogan fight. Yeah, it was a Hulk Hogan fight. Yeah.
But baptism under fire. You know, show. You know. Everybody gets it.
Wow.
No, but yeah, I mean, it was awesome. He's an amazing dude, and I felt like I felt comfortable enough to ask that question and go there with him. The 5 minutes before we went live, we were talking, and it was just one of those things. Like, all right, you get it, I get it, we're here. You know what I'm saying? Like instantly,
Yeah.
it was like, all right, yeah, we're here. So it was cool.
I was tired. It was like, oh my god, hey, hurry, go to bed.
Word.
And then a couple minutes later, I can't sleep. I just need you there just to pat me down. Put the TV, put the podcast on. The podcast is still on. She's knocked out. I just need to hear your voice. And I'm like,
word.
Okay.
Word.
Okay.
Yo, show, but not for nothing. The way homeboy was talking, like you could feel his passion. I was listening to every word he said, and when he finished talking, I was like, oh shit.
He convinced him with the John Cena thing.
I was like,
John Cena. It's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this guy, yeah, keep talking, bro. Yeah, you want a question? How blue is the sky? What's up? Talk to me about some of your rests. You know what I'm saying?
Is it like this color?
Yeah, like, is it like the light? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, so you would have been engaged. So you'd have been like, really? What? And being a part of the show, you would have been like, hold on, wait, I saw this one do this. Who's this? You know what I'm saying? And it's dope. It was really dope. We're definitely gonna have him back, and you're gonna be on, and Lay gonna be on. And it's gonna be a happening, like Gorilla Monsoon would say. You know what I'm saying? Word. But yo, we could call ourselves the Rolling Brutes right now because we had banger after banger after banger this week.
And we're gonna continue to having bangers after bangers after bangers.
That's right.
You guys gotta just stay tuned and pay attention to our IG page. Subscribe, follow, share, like, comment, shoot the shit with us. We're cool with it. Just don't be creepy. Nobody wants to get dick pics, and I haven't received anything, so I appreciate it.
Word. And I don't want them shits neither.
Yeah, he wants all of it.
No.
For y'all niggas, that y'all be brave on, when I ask you guys, send me anything anonymously. Y'all niggas be really brave. Because some of the shit that y'all sent me was by far the most funniest things I have ever read, whether it's wrestling related or the fact that y'all said some wild ass shit. Like, come on, man. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. And then I'm the one, right, receiving things, and yet I'm unappreciated, right, at the fact that somebody said that they would actually do that because that's apparently love. And I'm just like, what? No. There's a limit. Like, no, if I ate it, cool, but I'm gonna still take a shower. Like, what are we going with this? What?
Word.
Not extra glicky. What the fuck is going on with y'all niggas? Y'all niggas crazy.
Word.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure you knew what question I asked you.
What? You sent me a question? No.
Yeah, something. You know, I gotta.
Say. Did I answer it? Did I answer it? Did I?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. These things were sent anonymously, so I wouldn't be able to tell if you have sent me anything because I'm not paying $3.99 for that bullshit a week.
Nah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Nah, but you sent me something.
I did like the question where they asked, how's it feel to know that I'm always right? I felt like, whoever wrote that question was a genius.
Oh. Well, I'm glad that you confessed that was the one that you did, even though I think I did respond to that one.
Because it was a two-part question.
It was a two-part question, wasn't it? Right?
Yep.
That's right. The first part was like, I love being First Lady of the Knuckleheads. Yeah, we're here all day.
Yep.
Tuesday, well, maybe not all day, but definitely Thursdays from fucking 9 to midnight, which we're way over past time, or not way. We've done worse. And the second one is that you were always right.
Thank you.
And you think that, and that's the problem. Again, I don't know if you read it, but I said that's the problem with you is that you think, and when you think, this is where you're wrong because you shouldn't be thinking these things. It's just false information that you have bestowed upon yourself, and it doesn't work that way. And you need to know this as your friend, Mr. Anonymously, person that sends messages. No, you're not always right, sweetie. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, Kenny knows it. Pro knows it. Show knows it. Everybody that's part of this Knucklehead network, they know it. Pootie knows it. Cabs knows it.
I love how you pronounce his name.
Pootie. Pootie. That's why I fucking love his name. Like, I know your name, but I will never call you by your name.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Why? Because it just rhymes with booty, and it's just so fucking funny to me. Because it's poo. It's booty. That's too me talking, bro. I'm sorry. Hurts though.
I mean, I am Sir Lord Facts, and everyone knows it.
No, you're not. No. No, you're not. No, you're not. Moving forward. Wasting that money. Damn right I'm not wasting that money.
I caught my supervisor that way. I was talking to somebody. I was like, no, I'm 100% right. And my supervisor was about to sneeze. So I was like, sneeze if you think I'm right. And she's like, I said, see, I'm right. And I walked out. I walked out. I said, that's it.
Yo, I would have held in that sneeze so fucking bad. No, that is invalid, sir. Invalid. I did not agree to these terms. So full of shit.
Hey, you got to get it where you can. You know what I'm saying? But hey, listen, we had confirmation that it might have not been my email that made Willow sign with AEW. So,
Oh, wow. Just going to leave that alone.
Listen,
so we can continue getting guests here and not having them run away.
I don't believe in coincidences.
Be a professional. I can't even say that with a straight face because I'm the least fucking professional.
Hey, you got to keep them on their toes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not like any other show. You got to be prepared for this shit.
We're not. We're not monotone. We have energy. We're just a whole bunch of knuckleheads that love to talk about wrestling.
Word.
Anything and everything about wrestling.
Word.
Thanks to our guest tonight that
Yes.
showed up and chopped the shit with us. Joaquin Morales. You can find him at Battle Club Pro, Fallout, Joaquin Morales himself. You ain't no
Facts.
chums. You goddamn right. Goddamn right. We got Knuckleheads merchandise.
That's
All
right.
right.
That's right. And
That's it. We got
there's
Wrestling with Knuckleheads tops, fucking t-shirts, Knuckleheads t-shirts, Toe and Show t-shirts. We got
yep.
merch. For the
Yep.
Win merch.
Yep.
This is what we do, man. Thursdays live, 9 p.m. Sometimes I'm on time, sometimes I'm not. But guess what? Tonight I was, and that's what fucking matters.
That's right. There's two things in life that are guaranteed. Toe getting on Gigi's nerves and taxes. You know?
Yes. Yes. Which is
Yeah.
yes.
Word. And word. And yo, keep an eye on our social media because we might have a special guest next week also. Well, we're gonna have a special guest next week also. But we're not gonna tell you who the fuck it is until we tell you who the fuck it is, all right?
That's right.
Word. We ain't no chumps. We don't fuck around out here. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, Gigi, appreciate you coming on time and being the ref. You know, even though you wasn't impartial, but it's all right though.
I didn't know what to do. I was just like, oh shit, this is how we're starting.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right, crack open this shit real quick now.
It's funny because you're like, I got to deal with my kid, and then I got to come back and deal with this fucking kid.
And my child was behaving better than you.
Hey, listen, I was on a sugar rush.
Like, no. I was like, I'll take it back. She's like, come pat me. You holler at them and just put the TV on. I want to hear your voice. I'm good. Like, she's laid out. Like, I was like, yo, lay in your bed. Nah. Your bed tonight. And I'm like, you're 7. You should sleep in your own bed. But your bed is more comfortable. And I'm like, go to sleep early? Yeah. Right. That didn't happen.
I hate word. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. It's your friendly neighborhood knucklehead signing out. Peace, everybody. Tune in next week.